My goodness.
Hello,
How
you
good do we
beautiful
look
man.
right now? How good do we look right now?
I miss you, buddy.
I miss you too, roommate.
Welcome to the Detail Grind podcast episode. What is it? 19? We're almost
We're
20?
legal.
Wow.
We're almost legal drinking age.
2 more weeks and we can drink. Let's do it.
Oh my lord.
We got the chat popping. This is great. Welcome everybody.
I do want to give a shout out to all of our fans and their patience because the Friday before, which was the 28th, we didn't have a show.
You were traveling.
And then preceding that on the 4th, we also did not have a show due to travel. And for those that have been under a rock or just follow the show but don't follow our other preferences, we had a little get together at TRCMA in Boise, Idaho, which Boise is the correct way to say it.
Boise.
If I said Boise, like
if
I'm clearing customs and I say Boise, I'm not let in.
Send you right back.
Turn around.
Yeah.
Back in
get
the
out
car.
of here.
Luckily, it didn't happen. I'm seasoned, just like something else we're going to be talking about a little bit. So, but yes,
I cannot wait to talk about our week because my wife does not want to hear about it anymore.
Let's talk about this real quick. Okay. I understand. You can stand up. I understand that, one, I'm not a baseball fan. Two, I was not part of the 24 class. But
you know what, though? I love that you have one and you're part of the 24 class with me.
Yes, I agree.
No other way.
I agree because the 2022 visit was my first time for the win of 2021. And I really wanted to say this on air, but I didn't. So I'll say it on air here.
Oh, you know why? Because we can say a lot more here than we can say.
Oh, yeah. We're not monetized.
On air there.
So,
no.
But also, it's funny because and again, this is simply selfishness. I had to beat 39 people. And everyone else was.
You're right.
Little birdie purdy. Only had to beat a few less than that. But I digress.
He is grinding. He's got a lot of product. I couldn't even buy any armor detail supply stuff because this man took it all. Makes a nice little brag reel today about doing it too.
I just love how like in the little shopping spree he was flexing like the work polo and the work badge. Like he's just scanning doors.
I think he did about 150 push-ups too beforehand.
Yeah.
To get going.
He probably just snorted chai tea in the back room.
That's possible.
Yeah. But, I can't believe it's already been a week that we've been back home. You and I both arrived back home on Friday. And we got a few stories to tell. But I think the best storyteller of all is Mr. Dane Hennon. They used to have...
one of the best. He's here in the chat.
He's here in the chat. But what do you say we do better than the chat?
Yeah, let's
see his beautiful face. How does that sound? Does that sound good?
Hey, it's sideways. That's awesome. Great start. Let's try and fix that, huh? All right.
There we
go.
And that's Dane's thing. When the slightest error occurs, there's always an explanation. A slight cough.
Got it.
Oh, got a frog in the throat.
Yep.
Oh,
just
gotta go home.
Something.
Got to zip tie the fence up.
Dane, is this your first time on the show with us?
I think I popped in on other podcasts, but I don't know on this one if I have been officially on the Detail Grind podcast.
Well,
so
welcome.
that would be
news. Thank you.
Yeah,
welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for staying late at work in at your desk for a little bit to chat with us. We know.
Is it work though? Is it work?
I mean,
you know what?
It's ceased to be work as of 5 minutes ago, so we're good.
Dane, if I'm being honest, other than like the crazy production work that was going on, I don't really know what other work goes on in that office. Lots of people at the wrong desks, lots of snacks everywhere. I don't know if that's like a normal occurrence or just for that week.
My desk is surrounded by snacks still. It's been torture this week. I mean, I'm a big dude trying to lose weight. I'm down to like 250 something after hitting 300 and being horrified with myself. And I look around this desk, like I can show you guys here a little preview, but
POV.
They've
Oh
got
yeah, look at all that.
Just
Oh my gosh.
it's too much. They ate all the Aussie bites. And then
So I'm a sucker for the
So
Welch's
much.
fruit snacks personally.
it's a
Big fan
problem.
of those. I don't know if I had the Aussie bites. There's a few. I tried to stay true to what I have back at home, because if Anthony's any indication, you don't want to stray away from the snacks when you have to be somewhere important, because things happen. Things happen.
Well,
For
one
sure.
one thing
Eric, right from Nova Scotia, right on, bud, right on.
fucking right on, bud. That was
Love it.
my catchphrase all week. Dewar
Yeah.
taught me a lot of
did.
Canadianisms, and that one is the one that stuck.
You know
So
what?
if you hear it,
The fact
Go
that
ahead.
Matt made hockey stick references
Ooh,
yeah,
and then added you as a friend first.
that was impressive. We watched it happen.
Yeah.
You didn't believe it when it actually happened.
No.
it was
like-
it was wild. And then
Because
and then
why would you, right?
and then I asked, I gave Matt a Detail Grind podcast sticker.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, here you go, in case you want to subscribe. He subscribes right away. I was like, that's very nice of you. And then he goes, when are you going to have me on? Now,
Ooh,
we've only got about
That's a
300
challenge.
subscribers. We've only
Mhm.
got about 300 subscribers, and I'd like to keep them all. So I don't know if we should have Matt on or not.
See-
Like, we might go, our views might go up 300%, but subscribers go down 100%.
See, but you know what?
I'm
is
just
that
kidding, Matt. I'm just kidding.
because we know he's watching. He's watching.
He's an
might be. I don't
acquired
know.
taste.
He subscribed.
I
He might have a
understand him.
notification on.
But man, that guy, there's just something you experience. This is something I wanted to talk about because it's so easy to have an idea of like what a person's like based on the
Mhm.
videos you see him create, what the image they choose to put out there
Yeah.
versus what you actually get in person. And
Yep.
yeah, I can't say there's ever been somebody I met who was just 100% only the way they are presented in videos. There's always some differentiation, but it's sometimes more minor than you expect. Other times it's a whole world of difference. So
Big
I
time.
think
Mhm.
in this case, the people who don't like Matt oftentimes question like, oh, our motives and stuff. Like, why are you friends with him? How come he's appearing in your videos? How come he's like tied to the rag company kind of thing? And it's because we actually like each other, like just on a human level.
Yes.
I understand there's a lot of difficulty there, but Joey got to see this firsthand. Like
Yeah.
you can
I'm-
disagree
I'm-
on a lot of things and still
100%,
find
but he
something
is such
likable
a good
about the
sport.
person.
Exactly. He's such a good sport in all the razzing, all the shit talking. Like he is a very good sport, but when it comes down to it, when you have like a heart to heart, like our 1 a.m. trauma
Oh.
bonding session in Anthony's garage, like
Yeah,
And none
for
of
real.
us would sit on the crappy bar stools either, because we all
yeah,
felt bad.
like
Nobody
like-
wanted to be the guy taking up the chair.
yeah, I mean that's the time you get to know anybody, right? Whether it's
Mhm.
after the bar closes and you're just having that heart to heart conversation, like
When the lights
so yeah,
come
I
on.
would say that our friendship has blossomed over the last
Yes.
week.
and like and
Fair.
again, as I mentioned to him too that I had really been following him since the beginning. When he was at the he called it the brown house with all griots watching the car in his sandals or barefoot, sorry, and just seeing the evolution that I remember back then that he would say a lot of the time. I think there was a struggle to understand like why people can't afford good things or the best. And I think it's really evolved now to I understand that not everybody can go full Russo, full Sonic MSS Plus,
Of
full
course.
whatever. If you got a slum, not that New Age is slumming it by any stretch of the imagination, but if you need to baby step it and then move forward, he gets that now. But also too, I think picking and choosing the improvements in the garage space, lighting first, Swiss tracks maybe
Mhm.
is an essential right off the hop. Maybe cabinets and high-end tools right off the hop.
Somebody asked me because last week I picked up a new tool chest and fitted in the back of my Volkswagen. Shout out to Volkswagen.
Ever
was
so
impressive.
reliable.
I saw
Ever so
that.
reliable.
Thank you.
You should have. Did
And-
you tag Husky and Volkswagen?
No, but I should have.
Probably shoulda.
But somebody asked me like, oh, like Matt didn't get you set up with something, whatever. And I was like, I would have bought the Husky just to piss him off anyway.
And you
So,
know what? He would have respected that more.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
he would talk shit, but he would respect that more.
Yep.
And a lot of the time there was a common phrase that was shared around the office of
Yes. What is
people
it, Dora?
don't honor free stuff.
They
Or
don't
people
value.
don't respect, or people don't value free stuff. I'm so sorry.
He's the first one to say that when it comes to
Yes.
those things. It's like, ugh, free stuff. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
sure. If
and
you don't want
'cause,
them
you
to
know,
actually value it, kind of thing.
it's
Well, watching
it's
his vlog of you guys opening your box of tools sent from a viewer,
hell yeah.
you
buddy,
could
hell
you
yeah.
could almost hear the gears turning behind the camera of him
Mhm.
being like, "Oh wow, this is how people react when they get free shit." Like,
And I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like the unboxing was on purpose.
Because that's not
For
how
him to
he
see.
would react in
Yeah.
that situation. So he has a hard time, frankly, seeing outside of himself. And I
Mhm.
think that's a big part of like we'll call it the language barrier with other people, like understanding like the whole character barrier there. But yeah, no, I think it's because he has a hard time like putting himself in someone else's shoes in those cases that
Yeah.
it'll come across harsher than he actually means it to.
And I think what's neat as well is, you can really look at it from kind of big picture too. And, I forgot what I was going to say, but that's fine. We're going to move
You're
on
good
a
at
little bit.
segueing. Keep it
I
up.
Oh man,
my
you really
God.
had it
I
there,
can't,
buddy.
I absolutely had it. No, that's what it was. It was,
Like and subscribe,
yes,
right?
I like and subscribe.
Thank you, Dan.
As fine
Look at that,
detailing
fireworks.
says.
With
Yes,
Yes.
fireworks.
Oh my,
I totally
is that
remember.
what happens? Whoa.
Mhm.
I don't know who commented on it, but I do have to thank them for saying there was a photo of the five of us. It was Sydney, Anthony, Dane, Joey, and myself. They said this is the only crew that was on for the full 5 or 4 days. So I'm like, that's amazing. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it didn't even occur to me that like literally
Yeah.
like we were the ones on
So-
camera or we need you on camera. Like
Yeah.
those were
Yeah.
the 5 people, and it did not occur to me because I was just having such a good time.
So if I lose my train of thought, I apologize. So
That's
what
okay.
what I was going to say was, if you were, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you work in any industry where you have goods coming and going, and you either have to pack stuff up or unbox stuff, the aspect of getting a package and opening it up kind of loses its sex appeal if you're doing it all day, every day, right? But as soon as you get a box,
Anything does with
Yeah.
too much exposure.
yeah, and as soon as you get a box, because I saw that box show up and I saw how much it costs to ship across the country, and I'm like, okay, and I'm
Mind blowing.
like, it
Yeah.
doesn't, and I kind of picked it up. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's probably, I don't know, 20, 30 pounds, whatever it was. I'm like, it's
Mhm.
heavy, but not ridiculous. And because, like, people have sent you guys stuff all the time before. And then Anthony's like, nope, we're going to wait. And then, we brought it out to the shop after the event happened on the whatever day that was. And they open it up. And yeah, I think Matt really underappreciated. It's like, okay, because I think Matt's kind of numb to the whole opening a package and experiencing it, because either A, his parents are doing it, or whoever's doing the receiving,
Yeah.
or B, he does it so much he's just mute to it and it doesn't
Well,
have the same effect.
it's the added element too of like, well, if I just want something, I'll just buy it for myself, kind of thing
Yeah.
of like the lack of any kind of sense of wonder in that case. Like he has a sense of wonder, but it's more about like when he discovers a product can do something he didn't know
Yeah.
was possible.
Yeah.
But the sense of wonder of just, I wonder what's in this box that was
Yeah.
sent to me. That's exciting. That's not happening for him
Mhm.
because he'll literally just go, oh, you shouldn't have got it for me because I have very specific taste. And if you happen to get the wrong thing, I'm not the best at expressing like, "Oh, thank you for that, but it's not really what I
Sure.
want. I'll just go get what I want," is his approach. Now,
Mhm.
granted, I'm in a very different case. I'm extremely appreciative for anything and everything. Like, it's
Totally.
always
Same
Yeah.
way.
mind-blowing if something actually shows up and they're like, "Oh, this is for Dana." I'm like, "Wait, what? Me?" Like,
Yeah.
it's that kind of like, you're not expecting it. Now,
Yeah.
granted, like Anthony, he's more a face on the channel and stuff. You kind of
Yeah.
expect to see that.
Yeah,
But
he
I
knows
mean,
that some
that
stuff
guy
is
who
coming.
sent them stuff, he even sent me things. At least once, I got a little
I think that's
key drive
awesome.
set here, which is super cool, and I was super appreciative. So it was
So,
very
Well,
nice.
that
I was
little
talking
Wera
to Steve
thing,
about this
ooh.
earlier. Like I said, like I have like when it comes to getting packages from whether it's people or a brand, like I have imposter syndrome still. Like I'm like, I don't know that I deserve this. Like, but I'm super appreciative of it, and I'm going to do everything I can to appreciate it, like, and show my appreciation for it. So, yeah, it's just it's this like weird thing to navigate. While like other people, just let Anthony give me, you know, like,
like a radar detector for God's sakes. Like, why? But
ding,
also,
ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
And also too, like, with, and I know Joey and I have received our fair share of complimentary goods, if you will, from the different companies' generosity. But also too, I think that we're not really selfish with it. Like, we'll try to engage with content, whether it be photo, video, or just talking about it, or at least having, and not just like making a video or a photo about it, but just having an experience of the product to then help others, which I think can kind of spread further to help, whether it's a purchase or just a problem. Like, look at Stout, for example. I mean, Joey used Stout. I was kind of like, I'm patient, because not only just stuff getting, up here a little bit later after the US, but I mean, you think a coating's a coating, and you think selfishly, like, okay, I've applied one, they should all be the same. Joey did it, but he didn't really go public with, like the problems. Went right to the source and then said, hey, like, I had these issues. What was I doing wrong? And then we discovered, like, hey, the install video wasn't correct. And so, like, we went and did it on our Jeep and got certified, which is amazing. But also too, it's very different than any other coating.
You let us touch your truck.
Yeah. But just the fact that we were able to, like, not just polish it, but then apply it, but also be told how to do it, is that now, you can kind of, I hate to use like the pyramid scheme, if you will, but like, we have that knowledge, and then we can kind of spread it, and then they can spread it, because it's a different animal. You can't just apply it as a normal coating. I'm sure you could try and get probably close, but it's a little bit different. And so even with that, even though we didn't necessarily have the product ourselves or purchase the product ourselves, we have firsthand experience with it, which, by proxy is free, if you call it. But, we're kind of working at getting that information out to others to then help them, which I've even seen different Facebook groups and such where people are really changing their approach on the installation of it, which that's just one product specifically.
I just want to answer Exodus's question. It says, so what was the flaw in how Joey used Stout that ended up in the high spots? So I'm very meticulous when I do most of my coatings, whether it's this one or that one, and I'll crosshatch and just make sure that, like, everything is filled in. So my problem was between the temperature, the time it took me to crosshatch an entire panel was already beyond the time it was, for me to wipe it
You
off
were
to start
very thorough.
I was very thorough to the point where I just left it on, I left it on for, I don't know, I would say probably 15, 20 seconds too long. So it's really a apply and wipe, like, just keep moving. And once I wrapped my head around that, it just made sense. I think I told Sydney this, the coating I used prior, like immediately prior to Stout, that's me. It used to be you. That's me. The coating I used prior to Stout was Phobic, and Phobic is like stupid easy to use, right? So, like, in my brain, muscle memory, I was like, let's just go for it. And yeah, I've learned from my mistakes, and I hope to spread that knowledge to anybody that needs help with it. Being certified, not to.
I might have to put that over my other important documents hanging on walls, because it's worth something.
Yes. Well, but yeah, and I wanted to ask Dane a question.
Yes,
because we've got him on. This is TRCMA recap.
Admittedly, I'm a little short on time today. But I've got about 10 more minutes that I can give you.
Totally, and that's
what I want to be a guest some other time where we can do that.
Oh, 1,000%.
Absolutely.
We appreciate your time, for sure.
I know we touched on this on the Q&A yesterday, but like, time was also limited. But I just wanted, on your end, were there any, like, highlights of the week, either on camera, off camera, or things that you wish would have happened differently during the week? Just because you were locked in a closet for most of the week, so you have, like, a different perspective of things.
With no bathroom.
My perspective is a few walls.
A few walls. One of them is angled. Yeah, you.
One of them's angled.
You had a nice.
if you have claustrophobia, it's not the place for you.
No,
it literally
that's why I didn't
just
stop
like
by and see you too often.
stuck in a closet. Yeah. No, I mean, I really do think that this year's show was the smoothest experience we've had thus
100%.
far. And Alex, you can vouch for that because you've seen how it's gone in past years. Now, granted, the first year we did it, it was a crapshoot. It's like, what's going to happen? Like, we threw stuff together as best we could with our only prior experience being live streams like the Q&A, something simple. But in the case of like Nick, he had prior experience working at actual like news stations and stuff, so he was able to bring that to the table and make that something that actually paid off in terms of the execution. So it looked really awesome. And then with Glenn coming on board, the whole thing with the graphics, it's all just every year. It's really, really gone up in quality all the way across the board. And I know they're hard on themselves, like when it comes to the stuff that gets done and how it looks, but I'm really so impressed with them every year, like what they accomplish and like what the team accomplishes all together.
Like I watched Matt's
It's so
vlog.
impressive.
I watched Matt's vlog where he had a little bit of the behind the scenes footage inside of the control room with Glenn and Nick.
My favorite.
That's absolutely my favorite part. And it's one thing to hear them in your ear during the show, but to see them do what they're doing, mind blowing. Like there's so much that goes into it. I don't know how they keep track of it, but I mean, the dark room probably helps because there's literally nothing else to focus on. But
yeah,
what an incredible job they do. Holy moly.
No, and they lock in and they really do an awesome job. As far as like things happening during the show, nobody could have scripted a moment like Matt ripping his pants, but that is the memorable moment.
That's the core memory,
the thing
baby.
that stood out this year was, holy cow! You making the prescient statement of, hey, those pants look a little tight, and then later on having it actually just full on tearing him.
The foreshadowing could not have been.
I guess,
better.
Guess my pants aren't OG spec after all.
Oh, man.
And we called them out for being too tight.
Well, like it is what it is. Too late now. Those things.
I mean, it may have been the fact that he ate that entire steak that he hated so much that contributed to it. But I'll leave it at that.
That was a more subtle thing. I really loved him shit talking, like looking there, just going, this is terrible.
This is awful. This is water steak.
And as he's saying that, he's just one bite after another, after another, after another. It's like, okay, how bad is it really? Because
I even got a compliment about my rosemary essence that you could taste on it.
And he bashed us because for those that didn't know, we had I don't know if we were going to get a Blackstone, some kind of flat top. That was the original plan. Yes. So I'm like, okay, I'll either get like a little tinfoil, like Chinese to-go container that we can put like the butter and rosemary in, just as like some kind of container.
Something to baste it with.
Right? Yeah. And then as soon as they whipped out the one-wheeled grill, I'm like, oh God. And then I grew up watching cooking shows, not cartoons.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, F it. We're just going to rub the garlic on this son of a bitch. And we're going to rub the rosemary on the son of a bitch. And I'm like, the butter, man. I'm like, if we destroy the grill with
more butter.
I'm like, if we destroy the grill with the butter, I don't care. We'll throw it in the garbage.
I put those slices of steak in the break room and they disappeared. I'll just say that. They disappeared.
Honestly though, I need to find some like Alberta raised Wagyu because that was by far the best steak I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah, it was very good meat.
But Alberta is known for steak, and we need to maintain the title because we don't have a lot.
Okay.
We need to keep that.
I mean, Alberta doing what it can. I appreciate that. The Snake River Farm stuff, Matt's got a point there. It is pretty amazing. I mean, even if you cook it like a complete Neanderthal, it turns out great.
Yeah. I was definitely expecting those steaks to be completely well done with how off the rails that segment was. And I don't think we were really paying attention.
Joey, you were the one who chucked that one.
I did. On the grill. Well, because he said
that was magical. That was he
said something along the lines of like nobody cares. These are all going to be trash anyway. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And I just chucked the steak. I figure, all right, we don't care about
the fact
it.
that we had the depth of field and the focus and the framing perfect.
I didn't even see what camera was on. So
it was beautiful.
I got lucky with that one.
Those are the best moments. And, you know, I don't know if it's going to come to fruition, but we actually did a whole vlog in the grocery store with Glenn of purchasing said steaks. And she wasn't able to slide it in for the main show, but may come to fruition someday. Don't hold your breath, but maybe
she could give you guys the footage and you can include it on it.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a fun. I think that'd be a fun little project.
But also, like, I mean, I think the shitty $180 grill added to the ambiance, the Fisher Price plates added to the ambiance,
plenty of people have cooked good steaks on those grills, Matt.
Like that knife that you've been doing it for years. The babyest little knives, and the fact that like he calls out like his crate and barrel plates, and I'm like, bro,
$12 a pop,
bro. I barely paid $12 a set, my guy.
Oh man.
Well, Dane, I want to respect your time, and I want to thank you again for stopping by to just give us, you know, a little bit of your perspective of how the week went. And I have to thank you again for just being such a great host, picking us up from the airport, taking us to lunch, taking us
up
to
a mountain.
I love doing that, and I know you didn't expect that.
No, but I had such a good time. I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
Yes,
and truly, so much, Joey, like you instantly. I don't know what kind of crazy witchcraft magic you're using here. You instantly just shot to like my top 5 favorite like people just in general, just in my life. Like I want to have you around as a friend and stuff. And Alex, of course, you're already there too. But I want to have you guys like around all the time. You're such a fantastic pair to hang out with. I can't say enough good things.
Same to you, Dane. Same to you.
Yes.
And let's see. I did see a couple comments coming in. They had questions for me. I got a few minutes before I got.
The big one I think was the microfiber one here from Robert Clark.
There we go.
Question for Dane. Watch your microfiber video. Fantastic, by the way. But here you're talking about the TRC logo. Is there any theme symbolism behind the logo?
I mean, it's a cross section of microfiber, not necessarily the most original idea, but there are other places that have done it here and there. But I think with our name being the Rag Company, it was always kind of tongue in cheek. And originally, when we took over the company, my mom kind of wanted to change the name because she's like, nobody's gonna like respect a brand called the Rag Company, right? It just sounds kind of plain. But I got where she was coming from. But at the same time, it was also, you know, it can kind of be a little bit of an uphill battle for us in a good way, kind of like builds character kind of way. Like if you can be a respectable, good brand and that's your name, then you're definitely doing something right. And I think like that's been the outcome is like being an established brand. The Rag Company, people look at that and they actually tend to think positive thoughts when they hear that, I hope. Because we worked really hard to build that up. But yeah, as far as the logo goes, that was me just I was trying out some different fonts. I found this like really chunky Russian font called Molot that I liked that
I love that you remember
decided I remember it, and then I tweaked and shaved a few parts, and I was building it the janky way. Like I didn't even use Adobe Illustrator when I originally decided. I was designing it in Photoshop. Like I live and breathe Photoshop. So yeah, making it was
cool that it's a cross section because you guys are also like the cross section between like high quality microfiber and high quality detailing products. Right. You there's chemicals, there's towels, like there's some symbolism there too.
And all their and I remember back in the early days of like, you know, the 2017 podcast days, like going back, is that your guys' entire shipping model was based strictly on towels. And then migrated
when we
to them
introduced chemicals, that was a whole different ballgame. That really changed the way we had to adjust like our shipping model and stuff. Because when you're shipping towels, they don't usually weigh that much. I mean, microfiber lens cloths, when you get them in boxes, they're extremely dense. That's actually different. But like big fluffy towels, those are much lighter to ship. But the second you introduce chemicals and the possibility that they can leak or spill or any other number of things, that's why we take it so seriously when it comes to like the packing of those with the careful bubble wrap and all the extra layers of stuff. Like those guys kick ass. They are so damn good.
They're not wrapping. You know, there's no one ply wrapping around there. It's triple ply.
Triple ply, baby.
For sure.
But
no muddy nails here.
It's really impressive. But yeah, the logo, like my idea was like taking the cross section of a microfiber, even though we're called the rag company. Other companies that did what we did called themselves like micro something or fiber something.
Yeah.
Whereas we knew like, hey, if you're called the rag company, you're not just stuck at microfiber. If the technology changes, if something changes, you can still be the rag company.
Yes.
And so that was kind of like our optimistic outlook on it was, okay, if the new hotness is something that's not microfiber and it can do microfiber's job as good, if not better than what microfiber already does, then awesome.
Perfect.
We're able to move on without like a huge sacrifice to, oh my God, we spent so much, time and building up like equity in our name and stuff. By being the rag company, they're towels. The function of a towel isn't gonna change like on the base factor, but the technology used to make said towel could change. So I like the flexibility that being the rag company gives us. And I suppose the most spicy thing I can say is nobody bothered to put rag in their name until very recently. And
I know there's a great rag recycling place. There's a great rag
weird.
recycling place in Miami. If you guys want to check it out.
Yeah. The logo looks kind of similar too. So there's that. By the way, today, but also many other days, I have seen we get people calling the customer service who think we are that other company because they have like a complaint or something about their order, and then we go through it and we're like, that doesn't sound like an order from our system. We ask like, is this Amazon order? Is this something? And then next thing you know, oh no, turns out they're like, well, you are that other place, right? And we go, no, we're the rag company. And they go, oh, sorry, and they'll hang up. And it's
That's
so
wild.
awkward, but it hasn't happened just once. It has happened. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say like 20, 30 plus times now.
Holy moly.
Yeah,
Well,
a lot. So
Dane,
people get confused online. And I wonder why that is.
It's Dane, I have to say it's refreshing to leave Boise after hosting TRCMA and know that I have no ambitions of starting a competing company. Like it's very refreshing.
Though? If you went and got yourself a job in the business, you made a thing, you did it, I would have nothing but respect for you guys, as I would for anybody who goes out and does that.
Basically,
if you decide
you're
going to turn around and try and turn it into a gigantic middle finger and be like, "Screw you," even though you did nice things for me, like, wow, that's kind of weird. And where did that come from? That's a totally different attitude. But I still don't understand that.
It was
and
very
I'm
nice.
I'm so neurotic and hyper aware. Like I feel like I would notice something like that.
It was nice to take off on that plane and not see any burn bridges behind me.
Man, it was nice. You guys, you're the coolest. You're welcome back anytime.
And what we did leave behind was the amazing potatoes to wrap up Dane's time. David Boyce, Dane, what's the likelihood you develop merch like a potato sack vest could sell?
A potato sack vest.
That would be horrendous.
Man,
like,
man.
What are you covering?
That's not good.
This sounds inappropriate,
David.
but are you
do that?
This sounds inappropriate, but it's like, are you protecting your bush or are you trying to stay warm?
David Boyce is slowly becoming the new G. Davis in terms of absolutely wild comments.
Man, oh no, I can see it coming, man. Oh, great. Rad Garage is going to change Rad Garage now.
Let's do it.
Come on, dude.
Hello, Ricky.
Man,
Hi, Rick.
Yeah. That's the way it's got to work now, I guess.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Here we go. Ragstar.
Man, the Canadians are coming in hot, baby.
I mean, if you make your towels out of wool, then sure, go ahead and be Ragstar. That could be interesting, actually.
Oh man.
I'm not sure it'd be for detailing, but it would be kind of cool.
Man, Ragstar is the start of a chargeback, but anyways, yeah, Dane, we really appreciate your time.
Juice Free's asking some hot questions, but I think Dane's got to go.
Yeah, no, I think we got to have Dane on for a special episode.
Yeah, there has to be a special one. Juice Free, we might save this one for then.
Yeah, Juice, that is a good question, and honestly, I don't know, man.
None of us
seriously
have the answer, Juice.
As far as like my experience, I had a very different experience apparently than they did. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But Dane, we would love to have you back for an entire Dane related episode because there's so much Dane stuff to talk about.
Oh gosh, yeah, you don't want to hear all that, but
Yeah, we
okay,
do.
fine, twist my arm. All right, I'll come back another time. We'll have some fun. Oh,
Yeah, well,
DJ,
all right.
DJ
Well,
was that guy's a hoot too, man. That was
I
fun.
mean, DJ would love to say hi and bye to you. So,
hi
we
DJ,
do have
please
DJ here.
What's happening?
replace me here. I gotta run and meet my girlfriend for a concert, so I got
Enjoy the
important
concert,
things to
Dane.
do. But I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Everybody who's watching, thank you so much. If
Have a
you're
good weekend, Dane. See you, buddy.
TRCMA, and if you didn't see TRCMA, I'm asking right now, please go check it out.
Yes.
If not for me, maybe for DJ, but definitely for these guys. I mean,
Thank you,
come
Dane.
on. You got to show the love. So anyway,
Thank you, Dane.
thank you so
Appreciate it.
much. I'll see
Take
you
care,
guys.
buddy.
Bye, buddy.
Look at this established
Look at this
gentleman.
guy. Woo! Look at
DJ
this
Mo.
guy. The most
you
screen
parked-
time other than the e-phone. Look, DJ and this thing, the most screen time at TRCMA last week.
Because DJ, that was your first. That's your first time really on camera. Honestly,
That
Live.
the public knows about. Yes.
can I get a charge back for the other stuff or no?
Oh, not the chargeback. DJ,
No,
I saw
but
you.
yeah, that was the first time. I mean, Brad does, as you guys have seen, Brad does all the content and stuff. He will be coming up here sometime next month for a couple days. So
Cool.
we'll do some stuff here in DC. But yeah, that was the first time, and we, like, me and Brad were talking about that earlier today. We didn't plan. Like we said, dude, like, let's just speak from the heart. Let's just be genuine and kind of wing it and go with it. That way,
That's how it
you know,
goes.
I don't want anything to be scripted because that doesn't happen in the real world. You know, you can plan all you want, but
Totally.
it doesn't. So we said we'll just go with the flow and hope we don't sound like clowns.
So I wanted to sit in the studio and be present for your presentation because I'm like,
Yep.
these are my boys, right? So I'm sitting there on the side watching, and I kept leaning over to people going, DJ's killing it right now. Like both of you guys, just the information that you were providing, you're talking directly to the camera, you're giving like alternate uses of phobic, right? Like covering every base, like showing off new products, like you guys nailed every single like thing to a T, and I was just so proud of you guys to, like, I don't know, it was just wild.
That's
to
hard.
see.
That's hard to do. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I
the
know.
local boy bought all the stuff, so no one else could. But I
But
digress.
this comment that you brought up, steak was so good, Uber dropped us off just in time. That shit was one of the funniest things of
oh
the
my
week.
god,
We're in the middle of this segment cooking steaks with Maddie, and
we had to have the door
it's
open.
snowing and raining outside. And
I
this
still haven't
guy-
watched
this-
the back, so I hope I'm in there.
Kind of like see you pop in, and then you realize that, like, I think it clicked that we were live, and you're like, oh shit. And then,
Oh,
yeah,
JP gave the look. Like, he acknowledged us, and he just looked, but he didn't wave back. And I go, Brad, move to the right. Get out of here.
yeah,
Yeah, I was
'Cause, like-
flipping the steak, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's the homies!" I was like, "I can't talk to them right now."
Oh, man.
because I saw the Ford, what is it, Ford Fusion that rolled up. I saw the
Yep.
Ford Fusion, and I'm like, who is this freaking guy? Like, don't people? But you know, that was just like, doesn't everyone know that we're live in this building? And
Yeah.
then it
Yep.
clicked afterwards, and you guys said like we were dropped off. And then, hey, was that you guys in the car? And then it was yeah. And I mean, my God, because like I haven't met you guys before yet, so I was really excited because I didn't like, you know, we didn't have, hey boys, we're gonna be live, you know, on location at 1:30, or we're gonna be there at 3:00. We had no idea when you were gonna be there, and then for you just to show up, and we're like, oh crap. And I thought it was hilarious that, you know, Bradley, the Florida man, was wearing shorts in the snow.
In the snow,
And-
the wild,
Yeah.
like out of pocket snowstorm.
And
that
then
we had
DJ
for about an hour.
DJ had the basketball hoodie on, and was scaring people that he was going to go live with the basketball hoodie. And I'm like, I hope you got something on underneath of there.
But
No, I mean, that was our fault. Like, on the way from the airport, because we went from the airport, we didn't check into the hotel yet because it was before check-in time.
Yeah.
We just went straight to TRC.
Yeah.
And, like, we should have been in the Uber, like, checking the live to see what was going on. But obviously, our first time being there, we didn't know the layout of where anything was. And we just rolled
Totally.
up.
It's
And I
confusing at
was like,
first.
well, it was just Matt Mormon cooking steaks. At least it was that point, you know? So,
Could've
yeah,
been
it
that
wasn't
bad.
anything important. It was just just a halftime show.
but the steak, 9 out of 10. Not even.
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
I had a piece like 30 minutes later. You guys brought it back over to the other building.
Yeah,
And you guys were like, you want some steak? And I'm like, Yeah, I just traveled 3,000 miles. Of course, I
Hell
want
yeah,
some
I want
steak.
some steak.
Yeah, it was delicious. So no,
thank you, man.
It was really good.
I know everyone was. I know, like I got back into the office afterwards, and everyone was like, "Oh, the viewers are saying like you were putting way too much salt and pepper on there, but like there wasn't that much coming out of the grinder." Like,
well,
I
yeah,
think it
and
was
like because we had the 2 for $5 Albertsons special pepper grinders salt combo, and Matt, you know, we tried to joke about it that we didn't have the $600 Obsessed Garage variant. But yeah, like, you know, we knew crank that, but I think a lot of people mistook the salt for the pepper as well because we were interchangeably switching them, but they looked identical.
The same container,
right?
yeah.
And so it's
just
like
keep salting the meat.
But yeah, like I mean that 8-cent mechanism is not pumping out a lot of content.
No.
It was not that bad at all. And you know, my dumbass put the freaking asparagus on the searing thing. And I'm like,
the asparagus had a nice char to it from the infrared.
Yeah, and like the fact that we got Matt gagging on live television, just chef's kiss.
I gotta watch that back because there's a little bit. There's got to be a part where like the fusion rolls up.
It does. Yes, it does. And it's like because they had the lighting
short
really
out
good.
Of it.
Yeah, and because the lighting was really good, like outside wasn't blown out, like it was pretty good.
Okay.
So we could kind of see you guys, but we see it kind of like adjusting. But you know, I'm just trying to make an amazing segue here because I'm apparently so good at it. But with the adjusting,
you can't plan it.
No, I didn't plan on APC being there.
I know
that was freaking insane. I just did it again. Look at that.
I know
that APC was wild. When you guys whipped out that.
Speaking of wild, you hear about the wild sale, the ratcompany.com? Head on
over. Open a new tab. Head on over to the Rat Company.
Oh man, my cheeks hurt like for 2 days getting back home from nonstop laughing with you guys.
I wish you guys were there the whole week because like obviously it made sense logistically to get people in and out because like way too many chefs in the kitchen, right? Like too many. But I wish we had more time to spend with you guys because like it like you said, it's just laughter. Your cheeks hurt, your stomach hurts. It's such a good time.
Fried shrimp, baby.
But yeah, so this was your first time at the Rag Company, right? Both of you.
Yeah.
What was that like? Because it was my first time, so I'm curious, like what other people's first time was like.
Oh man, it was it's definitely a lot different experience and kind of. Let me backpedal. You're actually kind of expecting something really cool because of like how the people are at the TRC. Like just dealing with them, you kind of have an idea of what you're getting yourself into, just because of how they run their business, how professional they are. I mean, everything from like the ordering process, like, you're working with good people, right? So I wasn't really surprised.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I love it. It's kind of it's kind of undercover.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, you could drive right past it. And have no idea that like you're 40 feet away from like, a
state-of-the-art media studio.
Like it's really cool.
Even just walking from building to building, like I guarantee that some of the people in those other buildings are just like, what the fuck goes on in there? Like
I think that's part of the allure too, is that you have like gymnastics next door, you have another like training facility, and then you have this compound and I think that's kind of nice that they haven't gone all flashy with the signage because signage is expensive. And just it only attracts attention to you, and I think just like and even the they called it the toy box with all the like the classic like that people will store their cars and like it's in the 7 figures that's sitting in there, and
it's wild.
You would have no idea
easily,
And you have like it's that road is West State Street, and you have like a Crunch Fitness across the street, and then
I think that's where Anthony took his photos.
I think so. Let's stay close to home.
Yeah, can't go too far.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I absolutely loved having you guys there. Again, first time meeting you guys because I wasn't privy to the roommate situation in Las Vegas. But might be changing that this year.
That. Yeah,
maybe.
Well, you get to experience that yourself. We can't talk about that too much.
But yeah,
if we talk about it too much, you might not come for it.
I know when you guys whipped out that big black bottle that was pretty impressive. That because I know we like talked about it a little bit like a few months ago that like it was kind of on the radar, but it kind of just we didn't talk about it more, right? We just kind of left it. And I don't even know what because I thought JB and I tried it on something. I can't remember.
Oh, so you mean last week?
Yeah.
So during their segment, they did like A-pillars, maybe a couple other spots. I walked by afterwards and I was like, you guys can't see the roof, but the rubber seals up here are real chalky. So I used it up there, and it did a really good job. It wipes off the paint and the glass like no problem, no residue left behind.
That product's going to take a lot of people by surprise because it's kind of like what I wanted from a trim restore coating. See it, Dane? 8-9 years ago.
Yes.
But that kind of technology wasn't readily available.
Yep.
And years ago, it was, you had to have a dedicated restore product. Once that cured, you could come back and then do like a protection. So we've kind of been able to take the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You get all the restore properties, but you also get all the longevity and performance from a traditional coating, even though it's not a ceramic. So it's kind of like, it's just kind of the best of both worlds, like a hybrid. And I think it's going to apply to a lot of people. And when people see how much you get for the price,
nuts.
Like when we price that stuff, I mean, it's, we do our research. Like obviously we see what we have to do to produce more and stay in business. And then we look at what other people are selling something for in that category. I think you two have seen some of like the testing videos that I've sent. I know I sent one to Mike G.
Yep.
But it's like, not only are we going to give you a better product, but we're going to give you more of it and for a better price. We're like, there's no reason to be crazy greedy with it.
It's
if we can sell it and get it in people's hands, it's going to be super. It's going to be super awesome. And I can't see it not being anything but the most popular product in that category specifically, just because, frankly, in that category, there's not going to be a lot of competition in that category that does both the way that this does it.
Yeah. And did you guys get it on the Echo that was part of the solution finish demo?
No, we did not. We wanted to do a couple pieces just for our, just for us. But we did not. So it was just the GTI, or what was it? A BMW 3 Series, 5 Series, whatever it was.
The blue one. Yeah.
That got washed like 3 times. We just wanted.
Hey, but Phobic like 60 minutes later was still like a champ, man. Your wash pad flew right off the paint.
That surprised me. And that's one of the things that Bradley and I do is like, like right now I have glass coating on my car, but I have it in different applications just to see if there's any benefit. Same formula, different application method, so I can try to mimic how maybe somebody else will do it, like outside of the perfect scenario.
Yeah.
That way it just better provides me, like if somebody has an issue, I can kind of educate them. That way, if I see something that they're seeing, I can be like, oh, I saw that when I did this, but if I do X, I don't get that. It just helps me a little bit better on the back end.
I got a kick out of it. Like a Bon actually pulled me aside after. He's like, "Did you see the wash pad just slide off the hood?" I'm like,
Iban.
Oh, shout out to Iban, by the way.
I do have to give credit to Haley. She suggested after watching me the past few years she's like, the ambassadors and just other people need to get more involved because people like us that haven't necessarily tried stuff or have very limited experience with it are going to be excited. Whereas, like the ADS guys or the TRC guys are a little numb to it per se, maybe that's not the right word.
Ambassadors.
Oh my good God. What is
where's my hat? If I had a hat, I'd spare with you.
But yeah, I'm glad that we got involved and and I got a Bond involved. Look at that toque. I like that. Or beanie, as you guys say.
Go Hawks.
That's a Hawk toque.
Yep. 8
Hawk
times.
Tua.
Yep.
Hawk Tua hat.
Hawk Tua.
But yeah, I loved getting you guys involved because it proves that you guys aren't just like, you actually use the products. And I was kind of worried about washing Phobic so soon because I'm just like, okay,
if you were worried, how do you think I felt?
You're like, this is live. This is our product.
When they told me, I took all my stuff off at halftime, and they were like, "Hey DJ, we need to wire you back up. You're on the halftime show." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
We talking cookies?
And they're like, "What are you?" I'm like, "What are we washing?" They're like, "Oh, the same car." And I'm like, "Well, we just coated it," but I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool."
Yeah.
And then when the water hit it, oh man, talk about relief! I was like, once I saw how good it was, I was like, "Do her, hit this again."
Yeah.
Yep. Iban was also really impressed with Amplify. He came to me and was like, "This stuff is great," and I was like, "Yeah, it's."
Oh yeah, we got to talk a lot. The couple of days that he was there, or whatever, and so he's super awesome guy. I'm glad I got to get some FaceTime with him. It was very nice to meet him.
Yeah, I honestly I think Iban was one of the best smelling people at TRCMA.
I don't know if it was Anthony to be, but Iban
I don't know if it's like
ahead.
I don't know if it was a combination of like aftershave and cologne, but
I think that's just his natural musk,
or just naturally.
Yeah, I think that's what that is. But speaking of Grand Ambassadors, we got Ryan here, and Ryan made his TRC debut during the ADS segment. How was that for you, dude?
Dude, it was so cool all week. Can you hear me, by the way? Good.
Oh, yeah,
totally.
Yeah. All week I was like, I want to be in a segment. I want to wash it. I told Anthony before.
He was like, oh shit, I want to wash a car.
Not even about this segment. It was life goal or bucket list to wash in that day, especially model day, OG spec. And I was like, that's life goal. And it was cool. They brought me in to wash in the ADS segment, and I heard about and got to use the APC in real time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, and then like off camera, or I was on camera, and I'm like, DJ, this stuff's pretty good. Like, while like filming Bradley on the other side, it was really cool. It was a great experience.
I think the APC is what we ended up spraying on the side of that black BMW with Adam.
Is it in the eFoam Pro?
Yeah, and I smelled it. I was like, this smells like an
Plus, and then we swapped it out for the APC.
Shampoo Plus.
Shit. So we sprayed it on, and I was like, I really hope this is as safe as they say it is, because it's all over this car right now.
Well, even Adam's like,
Adam's like, let's rinse this off. This smells like a degreaser.
He's like, good thing this isn't a V. I'm like, yep, probably. Because and I will say we should have done a little bit more due diligence with that to be like, we should probably know what we're spraying on here, because I had no clue.
I think it being off the cuff is also what brought the charm to the halftime show.
And also too, I think a week like that, I think we could all agree, is that a week like that you get really numb to the scents. It's like, I don't know what a squash smells like, or a raspberry, or a strawberry, or banana. I don't know what anything smells like anymore.
I was huffing Ulex the whole time, but
good God,
that explains why you had all this energy that David Boy says you were huffing the Ulex.
Did the
rental so many cars that week?
Did the rental company
I didn't see you most of the time, because you were I was like, where's Ryan? Oh, he's probably washing the car in the outdoor bay.
Yeah. No, I brought it back, and I looked back. I'm like, is anyone going to notice the car, Doer?
Yeah.
And no one did.
I think
at least the
was
front
just
flip
flagging
was
cars off the
polished and
street.
coated.
Like, he was just taking customers away from the car washes.
You just sent an invoice.
Yeah, I know, but we coded that outside. We did a quick video for Phobic with Bradley, and literally 10 minutes later it started to rain, and I went out and looked at the hood. I'm like, it's working. It was really cool.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that.
An overperformer.
I also enjoyed, once you guys watched the if you haven't already, the OG vlogs, which I mean, that was great, by the way. It was amazing seeing the behind the scenes of that. Yeah. But when you guys were testing the Ego, the new pressure washer, because Matt was very much out of his element without the proper fittings, the proper gauge, stuff he's used
picked
to.
up on that.
And it's so I was watching, I laughed so hard because he's and Matt,
I had to skip it, dude. I was like, he's 10 minutes trying to get this thing on.
Yeah, and he's very experienced with pressure washer guns. So out of anyone, he should know that it needs to be fully seated to be able to function. And he has that thing barely has the tip in, and then presses the trigger and just explodes everywhere. And I'm like, bro, come on. You probably almost got that, Ryan.
I was filming him. I know. I'm like laughing behind the scene, but it's a dual mic, so I was trying not to audibly laugh, and he was just like, "Oh, so
I would have screwed up."
He was getting so mad. It was pretty funny.
So bad. But I mean, I know it's once he gets the proper gun, the proper gauge, it's probably going to perform a touch better. I know it was a little underwhelming at the time.
Yeah.
But because you guys I don't know if you guys noticed in the video, but they had 2 large garbage cans full of water that they were just siphoning from, which was super cool. Because I don't know if they had if they allowed dual flow to outside and inside at the same time. But
yeah, they filled up the trash cans. Yeah,
I did like the siphoning idea, but I don't know if it's going to be different with an actual steady pressure from a hose. I don't imagine it being like that.
Shout out to that little Ego pressure washer, though. Ego, if you're watching, please send me one. That thing is nice.
Yeah,
I need a backyard pressure washer.
Yeah, it takes one battery, and I got through a full wash. I washed Sydney's Jeep, and the battery had just died by my second rinse, like when I was done. So, like, if you buy one, it'll get you through a full wash without replacing the battery. It's pretty impressive.
Battery was that on, Ryan?
It's the 56 volt, like the Ego blower. It was a
5 amp.
5 amp, yeah.
Oh wow,
that's pretty good then to get 2 rinses out of a mid-size vehicle. I mean, that's
yeah. I mean, it's like 1.2 because you're rinsing for a while. It takes a little. When you're used to 2 gallons a minute using an active or something. But I was very impressed with it.
On that topic, Exodus says, "What was it like being an OG Spec Garage?" On the topic of flow, the rinseability in the TRC wash bay is like second.
I am so mad you guys haven't had the freaking the what do you call it?
Capture mat.
The capture mat. Like I feel like that's some kind of like christening is getting your feet absolutely drenched in that stupid capture mat. But like you guys never knew this, but like there was like massive holes and it would get wrinkled. And like I remember like we'd have to, once everything was done, like we'd like, literally squeegee all the water to one corner. But it was a pretty flat grade. Like it wasn't graded to any corners. And so like you'd get it all there to the sump pump. It was just like some ghetto little freaking Harbor Freight sump pump. And I'm like, oh my God, this has to be better. And then they like as soon as they did that, I didn't care about the cabinets, I didn't care about the flooring, I didn't care about the lighting, I didn't care about anything. I'm like, my feet are gonna be dry next time I go there. But
like the cabinets are cool. Like it was nice to see everything organized and be like cool. Like this is like
OG
something
spec
to aspire to. But like I think the wash bay was
yeah,
it was legitimately like my favorite part of it.
The user
it's just so efficient.
Yeah, like everything is just where it needs to be, and then even on the cabinets, like that was also like a crazy moment for me where I like walked up to the Russo array and I'm like, I want some G-Technic, I want some ADS, I want some Coach.
Exactly.
All like right there, the full lines. It was pretty cool.
It was super nice.
And like if I was in a situation, because like I have friends who work at like automotive dealerships that have Russo arrays, but they're using and abusing it all day every day, and like they're not even wiping them down all the time, and they still look fantastic. But I understand. People are like, why do you need 440 pounds of drawer weight? I'm like, well, if you're working in like aviation where you have really large torque wrenches and you have 5 or 6 of them, they can be 30-40 pounds a piece, right? So it adds up. But even just touching and feeling the tools, like it's a big difference of quality with the tools. Like if you have your kind of hodgepodge of Craftsman or Husky or whatever, but picking up like any of the Sonic stuff is pretty good. That has that stuff is wild. Like
DJ's quiet over here because he's like, my shop looks better than the TRC shop.
He's like, I got my Costco shelves and my reflective door material.
He's like, I got that quadruple filtration system running.
I'm just laughing at Matt Moore when he was like, we were rinsing the car and he just put his head down. And he was like, this would be so much better with a dual transless setup.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm like, what was it like being in an OG Spec Garage? Like I felt very poor. I will say that.
But on that topic though too is that and as odd as this sounds, I think probably what the piece I was most impressed with was the Cox hose reel. Like I pulled because you don't primarily use that there, but I love the Cox. So you pull that hose out about 30-40 feet out into the middle.
Are we still talking about the cookies?
And so but you reel that sucker in, and like I understand it, you can go to like any Harbor Freight or in Canada Princess Auto or any like hydraulic store and get hydraulic hose that you can use for a pressure washer in a pinch. But even just like that hose and the jacket that's on it and just the quality and just how smooth it is, and I'm like, but like Adam said in our segment, he's like, any reduction of friction is going to make your life so much better. But again, you can't, like, not everybody can go to the deep end or right off the hop. You got to baby steps.
Progression for sure. That's what I've done. I started with the Cobra Jet, then I went with the OG, right? Like you work your way. Well, first I went with like the hoses that came with the pressure washer machines, right? The janky
trash tangles.
You work your. I'm like, dude, I can't imagine. I was trying to wash cars where that thing was like tangling up. I'm like, this is heaven now.
But that's kind of where you need to start to appreciate the other things. Like
exactly.
Yes.
You don't have that level of appreciation if you're using, the entry stuff. Like shout out to the people who can just jump right to the other stuff. But like most of the people who start it, are not doing that, so
it's like my philosophy. Like when I buy a new car, I don't immediately start modifying it because I want to drive it. I want to see what it feels like. And then I want to make one alteration to it so that I can see, okay, there's the difference in that. And then I want to drive that a little bit. And then I'll add an exhaust and be like, that now I know, like I want to appreciate it, not just boom, right at, all at once. Yeah. So I do have my first Obsessed Garage product in my home
outside of a Facebook friendship.
I don't know if this counts.
It's not very good.
This tire brush. I'm not a big fan of brushes, so
the color.
We'll the color's nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, we shall see if this passes the test. Ryan, did you say it's not good?
Yeah, it's not good. I filmed I have a video, a wash and talk coming out with Matt soon, and I had to tell me how to use it, and he's like, I'll admit the bristles are a little too long. So he's like, he knows. So it's probably going to be revised soon.
Got it. All right. Well, that's my first product, and it's already obsolete. So
I guess the question that I have for the whole crew is
when JB gets something, a version 2 always comes out.
Oh, if I post a picture and I go, yo, this is dope, just get ready for the next version to come out because it's inevitable.
Quick hack though, JB, I actually use that as an interior brush. It foams up and cleans well because it's slightly stiffer than the makeup brushes. It's actually a really good interior brush. Yeah.
All right.
Is it less aggressive than like a boar's hair, or is it boar's hair?
Yeah, it's like in between boar's hair and then makeup brush.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
It's dense like the boar's hair, but soft like the makeup brush. That's what I'm feeling.
And bigger, like the curveball, like more surface area.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you guys notice, and Maddie was called out appropriately for the curveball because Sydney showed us using the curveball on tires, which her Jeep, I think, are screwball, not the curveball, the screwball. Did I say curveball?
You did say curveball, and that's what Matt said to me, and I had to correct him.
Screwball. Because Matt used the curveball because he was crazy using a $30, $40 brush, whatever it was. But the screwball, the harder, stiff bristle one. Oh, there you go. It works so well for tire dressing because her Jeep, I think she's on 20s, but I think that the side radius, I think, is a 50 series, if I remember correctly. It was perfect for that.
That is a wild thing to remember.
I'm weird with tires. I don't know why, but it works so well. But it was also like I think I don't know if they're Connie's, but like the Connie's have really, really smooth sidewalls. Like they're not like, like how the Michelins have like the 1,000 little ripples in them. But it worked really well for that. So
she handed me Tire Plus and a screwball and was like, try this. And I was like, okay.
Did you say DJ's face and you said Tire Plus? He's like,
yeah, he lost interest until I said one of his products. So, and then immediately, like I tried it, I was like, oh wow, this is nice.
So I guess the question for the four of us is it's kind of a two-parter, is what was your favorite kind of OG addition to the shop, and then what's something that you're going to take away from that and upgrade your own spaces with?
I mean, for me, it's always going to be lighting. I think lighting is the one thing that I have very, very good lighting, and I don't complain at all, but I think I can do better. For whatever that's worth. I mean, I think that's one of the things that you're constantly chasing, whether it's your after photos, defects, coatings. I mean, because there's so many different things. Like when you're polishing, you don't need all the lights. Right now, I have one of my rows on, but it's like, you don't need all these lights. I actually only run one row of my ceiling lights, and I actually run stands for a correction. And then when I'm coating, I only run one set of lights, and then I actually have like the egos or the scan grips with the diffusers that I have on dollies.
I learned that from you, DJ, because I don't know if it was in a comment or out loud when Matt was talking, but when Matt from Scan Grip, Matt, but you said, the diffusers for coatings, and it's like a light bulb went off on my head. I'm like, are you freaking joking? I'm like, because I'll be the first to admit I've had high spots when you take it outside and you take a look at it like, oh crap, like I missed that.
You've had high spots.
I have, believe it or not. But I feel like as soon as you mentioned the diffuser, it like went off, and I'm like, that would probably solve so many freaking problems. And now I need to try, because it's always like the harsh light.
I point the light at the white wall, and then I just look at the wall on the panel.
You just look at the wall. That car's good.
Well, no, I look at the reflection of the wall to see.
Okay, yeah.
But I do like the diffused option, and I know DJ's been a big fan of the Eagle light, so I think think I gotta get.
I didn't even know about that until last year when JB sent it in our group text. I was like, this little light looks pretty good. And 3 days later, I was like, yep, it's here. It arrived.
Yeah, and I still haven't bought one, but this guy's got like 4 of them.
But it's cool
light.
Yeah, it's like
one of like the tripod.
It's like a folding.
Okay, squares. It's really good for correction work. It's pretty good for coding work. And then I put it on like my little dollies and I just roll it around the car.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's awesome.
Like with me. And then it's really, really good for after photos too, because you know, it's just it really like kind of shows your work. And like when I send customers photos, I mean, they're like, holy crap, that's the same car. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, the light makes it look really good.
Ryan, what about you? What is your garage upgrade after?
I was gonna say fair shout out because I didn't Grand Ambassador until the end of the month, so FD10 will save you 10% at the Rag Company.
Ooh.
If you missed the sale last week, hop on over to the Rag Company and check out with FD10.
Yep. Well, yeah. To Bruce's point, thank you. Hey, we're good. Those things expire. I've upgraded a lot of OG stuff so far in the garage. So there isn't much, but the one thing that I actually just ordered and it's on pre-order from OG is the wand holder, the Mosmatic wand holder. It's like kind of just a silly little thing, but it's so nice to like put it in that versus like putting it on the ground.
Because the new one's a shorter one, isn't it? Like
yeah, so I ordered it's the 18-inch, and then I also ordered his version that has the 2 tip holders and then the one foam cannon holder on like it's all in one. So I've ordered that and I'll mount that in the garage. So that's the one thing that I enjoyed using and that I already ordered.
Sick.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I don't think I'm allowed to. I think I have to keep up the shtick of not getting anything OG. So I may be exempt from this conversation, but I will say those black shelves are pretty nice. I'll just leave it at that. The black shelves are really nice.
For the slat wall?
Whatever the crinkle black shelves are on the website.
Yeah, they upgraded. They were always.
Why are you asking me? You know this thing. You know you got this catalog. You got to print it out.
I'm not inside the hex, baby.
What I did though, Joey, like if you guys don't want to pay for those, I went to the Webstaurant store, like the restaurant store, on the web, and I ordered stainless steel food grade shelves, and then I just painted mine black.
That's because my shelves are currently the restaurant ones. Yeah, those right there. Those are the 8-inch
isn't
deep.
bad, but it's a little pricey for one shelf. So
what's the 50 inches wide though?
Oh boy,
120. That's not that bad.
Yeah,
and I think 8 inches deep is fine.
Yeah, it is. I think that like those are pretty nice. Because I am in the process of needing more shelving in the garage, and I haven't known what to get. So those are nice.
Mm-hmm.
Those are nice.
Yeah. What about you, Doer?
Because like I've piecemealed shout out to Sean Gully's Garage. I do have one of his pressure washer shelves, which are absolutely top notch. But I think I want to do something. I mean, I love the Cox hose reel, obviously.
You do.
It's either going to be the pressure washer, but the pressure washer, Jesus Christ, the pressure washer has kind of become like the pulsing of my Canadian edition of the V52 pressure washer.
Yeah.
The constant pulsing has kind of become my thing, but the problem is that it's driving me absolutely insane, and I want to upgrade it, but I also want it to die before I upgrade. But also, I'm like, hey, if I want the 1322 TS, it's $1,700 for me. And then I'm like, well, do I get the AR630? Because Rick has it. It's pretty good. Like, it's heavy, but, just upgrading that and maybe upgrading cabinets soon enough. Because, I just kind of got like the locker style from Costco that, have worked. But I also need to purge stuff. I just have too much crap. Like there's chemicals and I'm just like, I don't need to worry about, like, I just need to get rid of the bottles, either go like, I have like kind of like, a few nice shelves of stuff, like, because sometimes like the Koshemi bottles, for example, sometimes don't always fit in the cabinet, like depending on the shelf height.
Maker bottle.
Which? So
But
I have like the whole line of minis. on like hanging on like old shower rods, for example, right? So it's just kind of piecemeal, but I think like I kind of want to take like everything out and just kind of like sort it out, either like donate it. I know there's like a local detailer, pretty young kid that just loves some stuff and just like donate some stuff to him. I donated some stuff earlier in the year and he was just like, oh my God.
Just getting it out feels really good. Whether you donate it, whether you trash it, sell it, whatever, like it's like really cathartic to just let it go. Like I got a new pad washer, right? I got the 4,000 during the sale. And I had the 3,000. The 3,000, like it works, but it's on its last legs. Like it's cracked things, and just like tossing it in the trash felt really. I don't know. I was like, I could probably still like use it, so I kept the bucket part. I'll keep the bucket. I can always use a bucket for something.
Every few times a year, we have like an e-waste recycling situation, like a few different businesses around town that you can take your old crap to. I might take my Torque 10FX polisher and yeet that thing into the bin there because that thing needs to die. Because I don't even want to give it to anybody. I don't want to sell it because I'm like, unless you want like Vibration City.
No, there's some things that I go like, if I hate it, I'd feel guilty giving it to someone else. So I'll just toss it.
Yeah, I won't sell it. You guys need like a Canadian secondhand detailing. So you don't have to ship cross-border. Because like Adamo's and ours all the time. I'm like, dude, I love you, but I'm not shipping to Canada. Like,
I recommended it to Rick too, but like to your point, the audience is
there's a lot of Canadians that would use this.
I think there are a lot, and like I don't know if we need to, maybe that's a goal for spring, because
Viewers Garage can be the hub. Everybody just
you can do local pickup.
Yeah, because honestly, like shipping, I saw how much the box that TRC got full of stuff, and I just love that it was a TRC box, like maybe 24 inches by 24 inches, like it was a perfectly square box, and that came from Jersey to TRC, and that was it was over $100, but even still, so I think like the shipping costs are pretty even. But, it's like, hey, like I'm in a lot of situations where like I won't even charge you for the product, pay for the freight, and it's yours. Give PayPal me or e-transfer me the $50 or whatever it is to send it to you, and you can have it however you want.
I don't know if Ulysses is still here. Joey, did you get those glasses fixed? I did break my glasses this morning. I was cleaning them, and like somehow the frame just crumbled, and
that was so weird.
Fell off. It was wild. I was just cleaning them.
Wild.
Those were my like screen glasses. These are my driving glasses, and every other thing. I had contacts for like half the day. They're just so dry.
You probably have Taco Bell glasses.
Oh, I mean, I should. They should be Baja Blast fucking green.
Your Luxbox glasses? That would be
funny. I just want to make sure that we get through any of these questions here, but I appreciate you guys hanging out. Like if anybody has to jet, by all means, like we understand.
I wasn't gonna say the number, but Carson, here he is. 160 for the first, 95 for the second box, because Buddy sent 2. Like I thought I was nice, like bringing Canadian candies and maple syrup for the guys, but this guy just like whips his big old Hazette out and radar detector, and like I think we were all kind of
there was a radar detector in there.
Yeah, they gave
Anthony got it.
Detector. None of his cars are. The only thing he has
fast
is the Raptor's the only thing that's because
that's the only thing that can go fast. I mean, all of his cars.
The Evo, yes, but I don't. He's not dumb on the Evo. Like
that thing will spit dust out of its tailpipes.
Yeah.
But, shout out to Carson, by the way.
I love that guy. I was just going to say that.
What a beauty.
Full send. He took care of it.
I forgot about that.
Should we tell the story about Full Send, or we don't want to put him on blast?
We should. This is what this episode is about.
He's here. He's here.
So we're cleaning a car. Someone goes, "Hey, Anthony only washed half this car during his segment. Can anybody like finish it?" So like 5 of us jump on it. We clean it. Car's clean. About to drive away. Carson goes, "Hold on a second." Full sends, sprays full send all over the wheels. It's dripping down the car. Bradley's running, like trying to level it while it's moving. Yeah. It was a wild thing. So every morning meeting, we yelled full send at Carson.
Yeah. But it's kind of nice because like Carson was doing a lot of the TRC Instagram stuff, which, bless Anthony, but Carson will actually get you a repost. So
shout out to Carson.
Shout out to Carson. And how about two, not third best, but two pictures of the IK labels on the ADS lineup on that wall?
That was
Didn't know it was possible. Didn't know it was possible.
Looking beautiful. They're looking beautiful. Hit up Doer if you need some labels.
Chris, if you need some IK labels,
maybe Gabe will grab the appropriate products this time.
Yeah, so like and to kind of add to like the behind the scenes lore of this.
Gabe loves to clean cars with tire dressing and Pilot.
Oh my god, that was amazing. I had to go when
he goes, I would never do that. And then yesterday did it with someone else. And I'm like, yes, it's proof I wasn't lying.
Like when I had to go up to the airport the night before because it was an early flight. And like, man, I'm getting ready, packing before I leave. It's like Friday afternoon. Like I'm leaving in like an hour. And Gabe calls me. He's like, do you make labels? I'm like, yeah. Because I think what happened is they made a bunch for Sydney for her shop for her new cabinets. And I think they were just talking and I'm like, yeah, Gabe, I can. And I'm like, send me a list. Never sent me a list. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do the whole like ADS line. And then everything, but because I don't know if they had beads or easy beads, whatever we want to call it now. But that was the only one we didn't. And we couldn't put that bottle because I didn't have the label for it. I'm like, damn it. And I'm like, I guess I'll just send you more. But yeah, if you guys need IK labels, hit me up.
Yeah, those are good.
Steve says, did you guys get to hang with Eric V at all? Heck yeah, we did. Eric's
Great
a good guy.
Great guy.
Yeah, he's the exact same as he is like on camera. He's just like so I don't say soft spoken, but kind of like soft spoken. He's like very like chill energy.
Yeah, he's chill, and he was just like when I would watch his stories, about the day or whatever. He's almost like a ninja, right? Like he's just kind of like quiet in the shadows, and I'm like, when the hell did you get that footage of me? Like he's very sneaky, but like what a nice dude. What a nice dude. Can't wait to hang out with him again.
I'd like to watch some of his like music stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know if any of that's online.
He has a music account. He has a
cool.
music account. I just followed it today or yesterday. I didn't know about it.
But I remember like we were outside walking and he came around the corner with Matt and like they were talking like CrossFit language. And I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I can't. Like, yeah, we're doing like triple hop jumps and we like do
clean and jerk.
Yeah, clean and jump. Oh my god, it's horrible. And I'm like, as I'm like eating like snacks, and I'm like, no, this is not happening. Like, I need to go away.
What's up, Shrimp fam?
Fred, shake your sandwich.
I don't know how much time we have, but do you guys want to share maybe like your favorite moment from TRC? Can you pick one?
Picking one is tough.
Yeah, it was.
I got one. That's gonna be quick. Oh. So we were given a tour behind the scenes with all the warehouses from Jeff, one of the owners of the grad company, and he took us through all the warehouses and kind of showed us behind the scenes. And we got to one warehouse, and I think I had asked him or someone, I was like, hey, like you guys are in like by the way, it's like a facility of like businesses, and they've taken over like
a compound.
A compound. They're like renting out more and more space because they're running out of room. And so I asked them if they're going to open. Am I out of focus here? I asked them if they're going to open a new facility or like build something from the ground up. And Jeff went through. He's like, we looked at things like this before, and we've looked in the warehouse district, but again, that's like 10 or 15 miles away, and we don't want to lose employees. People won't come to that.
It was nuts.
And like, what owner of a business who like needs to grow, this is annoying, sorry. What owner of a business that needs to grow, especially someone like in the rad company, is going to be like, I don't want to move my business too far away because I don't want to lose these good people that work here. I'm like, that right there, I was like, this is one of like the greatest leaders that I've ever met.
It's what sets a good leader, apart from a great leader.
Exactly. And I manage a team. I lead a team of 10 people. And like, I just like, that was like a moment for me where like, that was like really close. I'm like, wow, this is owned by like real people with real hearts, real business. And like, that was like my moment. There was many amazing moments, but like that one, it was like, I'll be a customer for life. Yeah, that was cool. So
what about you, DJ? Do you have a favorite highlight of your time there?
Chip cookie?
I saw her the next morning, by the way, and it was totally awkward.
Yes, so did we.
But we saw her like 4:30 in the morning, and like when she was like at the end of her shift, probably like hating everything, and I was like, "Hey, good morning, see you later."
Oh God!
But no, for me, I think the best part was kind of at the end of the day, like once everyone kind of got out of the work mode, and every night was a different place, and you kind of got to catch up with people in a more casual environment.
Yes.
It was good to meet obviously a lot of new people. Just kind of getting them to hang out, and I mean the axe throwing place. I mean, that was really my first time. Like they have axe throwing and ping pong, and I'm like, I love ping pong. I heard axe throwing's pretty fun. I've never done it, but like somebody in Boise came up with it and said, let's put them together.
Yeah.
With
cornhole next to it.
Oh yeah, I didn't even do cornhole, but yeah, like that whole vibe, like the stuff after hours. Obviously the Tuesday night, going out with a lot of you guys, just getting to hang out with everybody. I mean, that's for me. That's my favorite part. Same kind of thing with SEMA. It's fun during the day, but like when you kind of clock out and get to kind of just hang out, I think that's what you remember a lot about the trip. Like that's where the relationships are kind of established.
Right.
Yep. I think that the after hours stuff is probably also my favorite because, like you said, like I don't want to say that like people are on, right, but they're in work mode, right? These are people who have come to represent their business, or TRC themselves, they're running a business. But when you do get to clock out and just talk to the person, right? Not that they're different at work, but when they can focus on that and not what's going on around. It is just nice to get to know those people. Like
big time.
I could have never predicted that like I would get along with Matt, but spending those after hours and chatting with him backstage and stuff, I'm like, this is a dude I can have an easy conversation with, right? Like, so just getting to know, like TJ said, just the after hour stuff and getting to know those people is the highlight. I know a lot of people say that, and I wish everybody could see the behind the scenes of that. But it truly is the best. Like when I wanted to tell my wife about everything, like I showed her some of Matt's vlogs because I think that's the best way to. He really presented like what it was like to be there for the week, other than shopping at North Face and whatever. Like it was a good presentation of of the week and the after hours stuff.
Yeah, Ruth Chris dinner too.
Screw you guys.
Yeah, get licked.
I was so glad we booed you.
Was that
Bertie and I made out well?
That was the Tuesday night when us three and Brad, and then we went out with Corey and Dane. Was that Tuesday night?
Yes,
I think so.
Yeah, Matt was like, I'm tired I want good food. And they were like, he's like, I'm going to Ruth Chris, she's coming. And I was like, and Bradley came and Purdy came and Anthony. It was a good dinner.
The 2 First Name Steakhouse. Wouldn't know.
Yeah. My steak was well done. That makes anyone feel better. I ordered a medium rare. I ate it and I didn't say a word.
Which steak was better?
Well, theirs was doused in butter, but yours was actually cooked correctly. So I'll have to give it to you.
I'll take the trade-off.
They were both free, so you know what I mean?
Yeah. Free? I thought Matt said he wasn't buying dinner for anybody.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Maybe I would have went.
Well, he said that so people didn't line up to go.
That could have been my favorite part if I was invited. But my actual yes, go ahead.
No, you know what? I had a great conversation at dinner with Chris West, so I'm much more. I mean, I'm much happier than a free steak.
Credit where credit's due. The boys actually took care of us and split it. Bradley and Matt. So
they're these ADS boys, man. They're too nice.
DJ's gonna see the expense report and be like, "What the f is this?"
They never let me buy a single thing, and I think it's so they can hold it over my head.
Bradley's gonna see it from Tuesday night and be like, "I wasn't even out with you guys. What is this?" I'd be like, "Should have been
there." And yeah, like, I think to kind of round out that question is, I think of my favorite moment was just being able to share the experience of TRC to everyone that was new. Especially Joey, and you guys as well, obviously, but just being able to be like, yes, talk is cheap and we can, talk it up all we want, but it's like, you're finally here. Cause that, like, I don't know how I'm able to be in this position. That's my 4th time being there. And I'm just cool. Like, I get to share this with you guys too, and kind of have the initial excitement I had the first time I was there, and let you guys see it, and that the company is so much more than the behind the scenes people. And I mean, like, I kind of have to, but like honestly, my kind of second favorite, if you will, if there is to be a second, but Nick and Glenn. I don't, because like Joey and I behind the scenes, for those that don't know, because we had some meetings with Glenn just to sort things out, and total time was a little over 5 hours of meetings that we had with her leading up to it. And this was like after hours time. Like this wasn't during her work day. Like this was after the
work,
fact.
like, yeah.
For people who don't know, who is she?
So she's the I call her the button pusher extraordinaire, because she's the one that kind of does all the graphics for everything. So every graphic and every kind of transition that you see, which are really hard to do, by the way. But even just like, I know that she was flipping the cameras, depending on where
switching. She's
where it was
whispering
working
in our ear how much time we have left. Move over to the left. Move over to the right. Get out of the way of the camera. Like,
hey, DJ's back is facing the camera. Changes ass around. Like, but also like, and she made us these like killer mugs too. Like, I remember she asked us. She's like, "What do you guys want to be?" And I just came up with the name. I'm like, "How about the detail desk?" Because it's kind of like newscasty type situation. And then she just ran
updates. We're doing random cooking segments. Like, it's it's kind of like,
because like the whole Nate with the weather, because we're like, because I was really, and I will say I was wishing Starnagloss was going to be there, because I'm like, hey, it's kind of cloudy with the diffuser on scan grip, and we have a chance of snow this afternoon with Starnagloss, just kind of like the cheesy stuff. But I mean, Nick and Glenn, I mean, like, when you look at Nick, like, you kind of see his face and he's all business, but then as soon as you get him laughing, it's like, okay, he's still there. But I mean, just the fact that they're in that little tiny room just running this stuff,
and this is room.
This is by far the smoothest. And if anybody talks down on that event whatsoever, I dare you to go and experience it for yourself, and then give me your opinion.
Try to put something together like that yourself. Like, it's impossible without a team like that.
Yeah.
It was like mini 30 Rock. Like, if you ever seen like what you've seen on TV of a control room, and I asked him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, like I work for the big networks." I'm like, it's an actual production. Like this screen, Matt, you saw it on Matt's vlog, or go if you haven't seen it, go watch it. But like, I was blown away at like the level of like detail and knobs and switches. I would have been like lost in there, and they put on that show along with everyone else. But yeah, the true like unsung heroes of that event for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Every single person at TRC, man. I mean, it don't matter if you're in the warehouse, you're in the media, every single person made you feel like you were wanted there. You were part of the family. Like that was the vibe from the moment I walked in till the moment I left. And then I had people reaching out when we got back. Hey, making sure you guys got back. Thank you for coming out. What can we do to help your brand moving forward? Like these are ideas we have. And it's just like it's no wonder that they're in the position they're in because of the people that they have working there. I mean, everybody's on the same page. I mean, what Jeff and Carolyn and the team have built there is just you can know what you're getting yourself into, but you can't appreciate it until you're there in person and witnessing everybody kind of on the same page.
Yeah. Well, and DJ, because you guys are kind of the new kid on the block.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term, from the distributor side of things. So like you're approaching it from both a distributor and selling your product and like keeping it there, but also maintaining the friendship aspect and developing that with, the influencers that are there, and then just like meeting all the staff that are kind of behind getting all of your guys' stuff out. And I thought it was amazing because like that blue BMW was actually one of the staff, that was working in the warehouse. And I mean, what a sweet deal. Come to work, throw your keys to someone, bring it in, it's thrown on TV, get your car washed. And I remember it was like, it's so funny because he opened the door. I don't remember his name, and I feel horrible for not getting his name. But he opened the door and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just wondering, my car's ready." I'm like, "Man, this is like a freaking like dealership. This is insane." I'm like, "Hold on, just give me a minute." And then I go back and I'm like, "Where's the keys?" So yeah,
so Bruce says that's a testament to stellar leadership at TRC. And it was my first time meeting Jeff and Carolyn. I wanted to say hi to them at SEMA, but it was busy, and by the time I turned around, they were gone. So getting to meet them, getting to give them a hug, getting to thank them for the opportunity, like it's literally it was like an extension of my family. Like they made me feel just so welcome. Her mind was blown when I told her on the last day that Alex and I had never met in person before and that we just happened to work well together. And she was like, no way. And I was like, yeah, like it's mind blowing. But those two are just the most amazing humans.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah, Carolyn's like, just like everyone's mom, but like she's just sharp as a tack, just so hospitable, thanking me and like telling, wishing me to come back. And Jeff like walked up to me, he's like, hey Ryan, I'm like, you know my name? I'm like, I'm just a idiot on YouTube. And like,
it's weird.
He was so hospitable. And just like again, I know you guys maybe be bored hearing us talk like the experience, because like we're so blown away because of these people who are like so real, so genuine, and like it just makes you like want to like associate with like this company and these people because they're like so real. So that was pretty cool.
I mean, Jeff literally texted me today and was like, hey, just checking in, hope all is well. Hope you had a good week back at work. Like
who does that?
If you need anything, let me know. And I'm like, whoa, now that I got you. But no, I mean, just getting, me and Bradley got to spend a lot of FaceTime with Jeff and Carolyn about things that we can kind of do, to further kind of, pursue our relationship with TRC and ADS, and, a lot of things that we kind of want to collaborate on. I mean, I think Bradley's going to fly out there at some point next month for some of the new products and work with Anthony and the team for a couple of days and get a lot of like really cool, content created. But like, just having that resource and them even offering it, and it's just, he's like, hey, we got a production facility. When do you want to come out? What are you doing next week? Kind of thing. Like they're
so willing to share that with like I, in my head, I'm just like absolute strangers, right? Like I'm an internet stranger that they invited into their facility and gave so much trust. It's
like
mind-blowing that anybody could.
I mean, not quite as much airtime. Not quite as much airtime as DJ, but close.
DJ next level. I actually call this thing DJ. I call this thing DJ now.
Yeah, it was funny. I was talking to Abon. Hopefully, he doesn't care that I say this, but I was like, man, that was a great combination with the new spray foamer. He's like, you want one? He's like, I could use some ADS. I'm like, you let me know, my guy.
See?
There it is.
It's just it's funny. Like people aren't sitting there like, hey, can I get this? Can I get this? It's just these natural like friendships that form that, may have something mutual in common that you can trade or that you can benefit from. But it's almost like the business comes second and it's the personal relationship that comes first.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yep. 100. I mean, that's the vibe we got. I mean, we literally met them for the first time in Vegas, like in person.
Yep.
At like 11 o'clock at night. And from that night we met them until here we are, 6 months later, whatever it is, nothing has changed. Everybody has been genuine in how they are. They don't tell you one thing, but then act another way.
Yep.
I mean, it's literally a family vibe. And then when I saw like the family thing with the Fast and Furious cast, like, I was like, when you hear your family, I was like, but that's true though. Like they're not putting on a show. Like they're literally genuine. And honestly, in this industry, I've been in it long enough to know that is a rare thing to be extremely genuine and transparent.
If you want to talk about a transparent brand in this industry, it's the Rag Company. Like you ask a question and there's nothing to beat around the bush with.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love it. I mean, Jeff and Carolyn are like, hey, if you guys need help with anything, if you have any questions, like we're in this together. Please ask away.
Juice Free wants to, I think this is directed to you. You would know best, DJ.
Eventually, it will be. Yeah, we're working with them on a couple different accessories and some things and some changes. But yeah, we will have more TRC ADS collaboration for, we're going to come up with some unique towels that are exclusive to TRC ADS.
Let's go.
Breaking news.
Yeah, hopefully do some really cool stuff and like, down the road a little bit. Obviously we've got a lot on our plate right now, but we would love to do something kind of really cool and exclusive with Detail Factory. We got to meet Brian and the guys, so that was a lot of fun.
They've got some new colors they came out with here, and I think an ADS color would be pretty cool. That'd be nice.
Yeah, no, we're definitely looking into that. I know he's already got some of the molds in place, and we're gonna, once that's in, we'll get some samples and kind of figure out, what brushes of the line we want. Because awesome. Accessories is one of the things that we don't have a whole lot of. I mean, the people that shop at ADS have probably seen that we've slowly been adding things as needed.
Yeah.
We just got to be select because honestly, right now it's a space issue.
Yeah.
We're literally running out of space. So we just got to be careful with what we take in. But we're definitely want to do a lot of stuff with TRC and ADS.
Detail Factory, tongue scraper. We need a tongue scraper.
I think that's also like a testament to what goes on at TRCMA, right? Like it's not just brands dodging each other. People are chatting and like let's work on this together. Let's do this together. And
I saw so much in the moment collaboration. I was like,
and the consumer benefits.
Crazy how this just like happened. These people were talking, let's do that. I won't name names, but let's do that. I'm like,
yep.
So this is how products get made. This is pretty cool.
Yep.
I mean, it really is. Like you can have all the Zoom meetings and the phone calls that you want, but none of that can replace the FaceTime that you get. I mean, we obviously you guys probably saw me and Bradley disappeared for hours on end.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of really cool stuff that you guys are gonna be like, oh, now we know why they just, there's a lot of cool things. So we're definitely excited about, SEMA. We're excited about TRCMA 2026. I mean, a lot of really fun things in the works for people.
I just hope the weather cooperates.
Man,
do we have ideas, DJ, of, you might have already said this, but some of the new stuff like APC trim, did we already cover when the expected launch?
Let's talk about that real quick.
Let's do it. I got you here.
All right, so
look how excited he
Doer's got the dinner coming to him.
Oh,
I just had Red Robin. I'm feeling good.
Did you get a freckled lemonade?
No, I got two.
Isn't that what Hero smells like now?
Yep.
Yes. No, so with trim, obviously I told you guys earlier, I think before Ryan got on, we wanted to price it accordingly. So we took, we'll probably never be the company that just makes videos that says like, this is so-and-so's product, this is ours. Like, we don't want to be that. Like, we'll know what it is, but I will never be the company that I'm not going to talk down on somebody to make myself sound better. I'll just, if it's better, I'll let people figure it out on their own.
Yeah. Leave it to me to talk down on people.
Yeah. Like obviously, we show certain people certain things, but like the trim, we took what was a very popular trim coatings. They're still very good. There's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah.
And we've applied them. So I said, for example, somebody has a trim coating that's $59.99 for 30 mil.
Yep.
And it's not bad. I think ours is significantly better. We're going to sell you a 50 mil and it's only going to be $49.99. So it's like we're twice the product, $10 less, and we work way better. It's like that checks so many boxes. Normally
I think you showed me 4 side by side.
I may have seen that image too.
Compared to, and like they all do what they're supposed to do, but yours gives that rich brand new look compared to the others.
Yep.
You know what the best part of it is?
What is it?
Best part? It's even cheaper with Buck UW.
Get him.
Love it.
Look at him. He disappeared.
Speaking
of disappear.
Lord.
What, dude, I want the M22 so bad. I can't. I asked Anthony. I think he said May, maybe.
I have the
Good.
slightest...
My birthday is May 1st. Send me one, Anthony.
I have the slightest gripe with the name. M22 forever in my mind will be pressure washer fittings.
Yeah.
Right.
M22 by 14 or 15. Like that has been so engraved in my brain. And now they have the towel. I'm like, okay.
So back to the trim. You're calling it Trim Plus, right? That's what it is on the website.
We'll go with Trim Plus. It's going to be a 50 ml bottle.
Okay.
$49.99. So if you're still buying the other stuff with half the product for $10 more, you're missing out.
Yep. Especially with the coupon codes. from your favorite detailer, influencer, whoever. Like, if it's FD10, if it's Bucky VW, whatever, like
JB10,
no brainer.
Yeah, this one's been a long time in the making, and we finally got to the point where we were able to check the restoration box and the protection box all kind of in one.
Hey, get us those American dollars. You're scaring everybody with the 71.
Listen, I didn't even see that.
If anyone wants to PayPal me some funds for no reason. All right, let's go down.
AJ's outright cheap ass.
Look at that instant discount
on trim.
Sorry, what was the question?
You wouldn't use Trim Plus on new trim. You just use the regular coating you're already using, right?
So this is where we're at. If you have a new car come in, let's just take a Tesla Model 3, something people see a lot of. You have a new car come in and the trim's already in good condition. You don't need to restore it. Whatever, if they're getting a 2-year service, a 3, a 5, whatever you're putting on the paint, you're just going to put that on the trim anyways.
Best time to put it on.
Exactly. Can this work on new trim and give it a little bit heavier contrast? Absolutely. Where you're going to reach for this more often than not is trim that's already, a year, 2+ old. Right. It's already started to oxidize a little bit. And can a paint coating or a non-dyed trim coating still work? Yes, but this is actually going to repair the plastic and then protect it like a coating would, all in one step. And JB got to witness it. You don't have to mask off edges. Like you don't. It's not. It's not like people like, oh, it's black. One, there's a little bit of dye, and it's not like it's just full of dye. But if you do get it on paint, clear coat glass, it wipes off like phobic. It's extremely slick. It's extremely.
I could spill the bottle on the hood of my GTI and wipe it off clean.
And it's super easy to use. But you have like an avalanche come in. Those Toyota bumpers. Like for me, I have a Highlander that I've been tested on for a long time.
Right.
Any of those bumpers that just really fade over time. If it's real neglected, you put on the first layer a little bit heavier. If it soaks up a little bit of the product, you come back an hour or two later after lunch, next morning, whatever, you do a second layer. And then it's just, you'll know a difference too, because when you take our towel and you do a little wipe, almost nothing transfers to the towel because it actually sticks to the plastics. Where you take some of the other restore and protect type, trim coatings, you let it sit for a couple minutes, you can wipe it, and all of a sudden your whole towel is black.
Yeah,
it's like, well, if my whole towel's black, I'm losing what I'm, from the plastic.
Well, it blew my mind too when because I think it was Brad doing the demo, and he's like, by the way, this is a black bottle. It's not clear with a black liquid. And Anthony was like,
clear. It's a clear bottle, not a smoke.
Or is it clear bottle of black liquid, or is it black bottle?
It's a smoke glass bottle.
Yeah,
you can see the liquid though.
So if you shake it up, it's completely black. But if you let it sit for a couple hours, it'll turn into you'll be able to see the line because everything is kind of settled.
Because I think Anthony thought originally that it was like a perfectly clear bottle with just a really dark liquid. So his mind was kind of blown when he realized that
it will come in a 50.
True.
So the same style glass coating bottle that we're using.
Yep.
Trim Plus will come in that, but obviously a 50 mil. So if you shake it up, it'll look black.
Got it.
But we went clear. It's like a clear frosted. That way, when it does settle, you can see how much product you have left.
Right.
Because people like to complain about that when it's like, guys, just feel the bottle, shake it up. If you don't know how much product's left, like, how new are you?
Detailers complaining.
Never know how it stacks up to Cerakote trim. Was that something you tried?
I don't have a whole lot of like long-term experience with the Cerakote trim, but I think ours, from the testing that I've done, I think it's easier to apply. That's just personal preference, but I don't think nothing's wrong with the Cerakote trim.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is asking for free stuff. I do have a perfect trim piece on a Lexus that I look after that I was gonna put solution finish on because like every time I see this car, I want to restore this plastic, but I'm waiting for Trim Plus because if it does what you say it will do, like this piece of trim is like dog shit white from sitting in the sun. Yeah. And I'm curious to see what it'll do. So stay tuned.
We're real excited about that. I think that's going to be very unique in its space.
Sure.
Yeah.
And honestly, the price alone, I mean, you're literally getting twice the product for $10 less. It's like, it's literally a no-brainer. I mean, obviously we did that on purpose. Like for how good it is, we easily could have sold it for the same price that they're selling it or even more because you are getting more product. But at the end of the day, it's like me and Bradley are like, dude, let's not be greedy. Let's just be transparent with what it does and what it doesn't do. And let's let people have success with it and see what they're getting. And, hopefully they come back and they get other things.
I think you mentioned it during your segment. Sorry, Ryan, but how long after you crack the bottle is it good for?
That's my question.
Oh, sorry. 6 months?
Because we can go so long once the bottle's open is the whole reason we decided to go with the 50 mil.
Got it.
When something, people are like, oh, pro, I want 50 mil. And I'm like, no, you don't. Stop asking for it. Because one, unless you're a high volume shop and you're doing multiple cars with just pro a week, you're wasting product. Like, if it was viable, we would do it.
Shout out to Brandon Purdy.
It doesn't work that way, So it's like, but this because it's you can use it for so long.
Bastard of the year 2024.
I think 6 months is a good window. Like, I don't know. When I bust open a trim restoration, I'm looking for everything around me that I can restore. Right, like whether it's my pressure washer gun or the seals around this thing or whatever. Like I'm looking for it. So 6 months is a nice window to get some stuff done even if you're just a hobbyist.
Yep. And I mean you guys saw it on the A trim pieces, even though it was only 60 minutes later when we did the second wash for the halftime segment. How hydrophobic was that?
Yep. The water was not sticking to that. It was,
and it generally will feel different. Like it actually
when you rub your fingers over it, you can feel it.
Yeah, so we're very excited about that one. Obviously, then the APC. I mean, how excited can you make an all-purpose cleaner? It's the most diluted, SKU, available. I mean, it's an all-purpose cleaner.
For like the year I've been talking to you on the phone about the APC or whatever, literally not a single time have you sounded excited about the process of making an APC.
Oh, it's
like you said, it's not a glamorous thing.
Trim Plus, I'm very excited because people are going to make so much money if you do it for business,
right?
Yeah. You have an avalanche come in, those huge pillar pieces that get completely neglected. That's not your car's coming in for a full detail. Let me do it anyways. No, that's a upsell, 100%.
Yes, always.
And it's just like Phobic, but we'll do that on another show because if Phobic, one bottle of Phobic, if Phobic's not making your business $2,000, you're doing it the wrong way. But we'll do that on another show.
Did you make 2,000, Doer? I didn't make 2,000.
I'm very excited about Trim Plus APC. Maybe. I'm excited because it doesn't make me cough and I can use it indoors every day.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's a cleaner. There's so many options that do everything you need it to do. So it's like, why are we even launching it? Because me and Bradley don't want to launch SKUs just to fill a void. But we've gotten enough requests for it. And I said, all right, well, if we're going to do this, we got to do something a little bit unique, whether it's for the good or for the bad. We don't know yet, but we have to do something unique that we can say we at least put our twist into it.
Yeah, you didn't just grab an off the shelf formula and say, "Here's our APC."
Correct. And that one, I'd probably want to ask you guys. So if you guys have a recommendation, let me know in the comments. How do we want to sell it? We don't want to sell a 16 in a diluted version, even though people, if we sell it in a concentrate to a consumer, their complaint is, I don't have a bottle or a sprayer at home.
Correct.
If I sell
or they want to have it in that branded bottle.
Correct. So, so I think what we're going to do is obviously the gallon will be conconcentrated.
Yep.
And I think we're also going to sell a 16 concentrated, but both the gallon and the 16 will include a labeled bottle and sprayer, and it'll just be in the kit. It's one price. Perfect. There's not an option, no bottle or bottle. It's just, it always comes with it.
Yeah, they did that with PNS does that with Crystal Wash, and so they sell the gallon and then the labeled empty bottle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that's perfect. Because I was going to say, your tire cleaner, right? You sell it ready to use in 16 ounce, and then the gallon is concentrated. And
we could add a labeled bottle to our tire cleaner technically as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying, I like that setup where I can just refill it and make my own dilutions after I use the ready-to-use 16-ounce tire cleaner, right? So, I mean, either way would work.
And plus, I really want people to use it with our sprayers because, I mean, not that you're not going to have success with anything else, but all of our testing and results are based on how we do it.
Yep.
Again, obviously, I love the IK stuff. I don't use a whole lot of them, and the chemical aspect, like the 360s, because they just don't produce film the same way. They actually, to me, put out more product than they need to.
Yep.
So it's like the same. People are like, oh, I use tire cleaner, didn't film that much, and I'm like, I call these people. I'm like, all right, let's FaceTime, and they're using the IK, and I'm like, okay, well, now put the sprayer that should have came with, and they're like, oh, dude, it films so much better.
Yeah. I bought another 16 ounces of tire cleaner specifically because you told me that, because I had it in an IK and already threw the bottle out after I finished the 16 ounce.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, man, like use it with our sprayer. Like you'll notice a difference. And
I know
this guy knows what he's talking about.
I know it'd be a little bit.
Sprayers are good.
The good old quackers.
The quackers. Oh my God, that was hilarious.
It's a WD-40 for mine.
And it's only for certain products if you've noticed. And it's like,
it's not all of them.
It's like the wheel cleaner, the tire cleaner, and the iron.
Yep. Yeah. The stuff you need to spray constantly is the one that like creeps the most.
And I'm sure it'd be a little bit of work, but I think it'd be interesting. Like, it'd be interesting for the launch if you did like a 16 ounce ready to use with a gallon. It was like a BOGO thing. And then so they have the 16, but then they can still buy it and then like try it immediately. But I mean, the empty bottle with the gallon also works too. I think that
I got you.
Looks pretty good.
I think there's a lot of different ways to do it. I just want to keep it simple for people, and I don't want people to overthink.
Yeah.
I don't want someone to come to the website and be confused. I want someone to go to the website and be like, this is easy. That's what I need. Add to cart. All my questions are answered.
Yeah, I think the empty bottle with the dilution is just kind of a good starting point too. You know, for people that, because, if, I'm kind of retracting my statement now with the BOGO idea because that's silly. Because if people have it ready to use, then they're going to think, oh, it's already good to go. I'm just going to pour it in, not look at the label, and then just waste product.
We will have I will make a dilution guide for the product page that'll have all the uses, and I'll have it broken down to if you're refilling a 16 or a 32 ounce spray bottle, this is the concentrate, this is the water.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pull it up, but yeah, you guys keep chatting. This is a lot of fun.
Do you have different dilution? Because obviously I didn't hear because I was like washing in real time for the APC. So are you gonna have like wheels and tires 1-4 and like well maintained cars 1-10 like for the APC? Is there different ratios?
Yeah, it'll be like 4-1 for your heavy stuff, and then in that heavy stuff category will fall like gross engine bays, wheel and tires, wheel wells, like a really heavy like citrus
nasty door jams,
really nasty door jams. If obviously the stronger you become, the less you kind of have to agitate.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything's going to require some level of agitation anyways. But like for me, I use most of the APC at 4-1 and 10-1. And then on the few occasions where if I have like a beige interior come in that has some like blue drain transfer or something that is like outside of the realm of pilot, I'll reach for the APC at like a 20-1.
Okay. Right.
Yep. So it'll overlap pilot a little bit in the 20-1, like 20 to 25-1. But it'll clean a little bit more, but obviously then it doesn't leave anything, where pilot is still, for all intended purposes, is still a detailer. It just also happens to clean, leaves a better finish behind and protection. But at 20-1 with our APC, the way that the surfactants are I mean, it's not, you're not going to feel obligated to like come back and do something, because you're not going to have like residue. If your towel's oversaturated, you might have some residue left. But if you want to obviously then put protection by, just come with a fresh towel, quick thing of pilot, wipe up one time.
Well, and your APC is safe too, right? Like that's the thing.
It's interior and exterior. Like I didn't, and in all honesty, most people call their, most people just do like a very caustic degreaser and then call it APC.
Yeah.
Because it's cost effective. And honestly, we could have done that, and I could have sold you something for $29.99, but it would have been a degreaser that we labeled an APC. I couldn't sleep at night knowing that like I'm finagling people into believing one thing and then selling them something else.
Yeah.
So when I say ours
is the first indicators of that is if a brand is telling you like don't use our APC on interiors.
Yeah, if you can't use your all-purpose cleaner on interiors safely, it's not an all-purpose cleaner. It's a caustic degreaser. You don't have to worry about. I mean, I've sprayed it on tons of trim and I've left it. I've let it dry. Obviously, I don't recommend doing that, but you can kind of come back one spray into a towel, re-wipe it, and you're not going to turn stuff white. You're not leaving some gnarly, sticky residue. And if you are, you either use too much or it's at too strong of a dilution.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can use it inside of the car and not like
we
cough,
do have a couple questions, I guess, regarding that.
Yeah, I think one of my, I'm just going to show you real quick here. Let me go over here. Probably one of my favorite dilution charts is actually this one from PNS. How they literally,
I'll just tell Cindy to make it black and green and send it to me.
Yeah, it's kind of a bad picture, but the I mean, this is if you like the imperial system, which I think for dilutions metrics.
Yeah, I mean that's perfect. People if you're in detail, and especially for a business, all the common dilutions. One, either have a printout like I do, like in one of my cabinets, it's on the inside of my door, or have an app, or honestly just know in your head. If you're doing it enough, you should know.
Yeah. That Ryan, that dilution calculator is
like rinseless. I have it down. Once I started doing 4 mils to, a liter and it made everything so much easier.
IK does have an absolute banger as well.
Yeah,
for all of theirs.
I'll take that in black and green too. Perfect, thank you.
DJ wants all of them in black and green.
Yeah, like if I had employees, DJ, I would have that printed in my shop for sure.
Yeah. The I know I've been to like the Omni dilution calculator. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I have that one bookmarked. But
and if anyone wants to know, Joey's measuring cups are just regular OXO from somewhere.
Nothing special about them.
Nothing special.
DJ, would Pilot give me satisfying results on heavily stained upholstered carpet and seats? Again, heavily stained body sweat neglect.
The only way to know is a try spot. I mean, Pilot's obviously going to have its limits because at the end of the day, it's still a detailer.
Yep.
But for a detailer, there's not a lot of times when I honestly, in my business with the kind of cars that we do, there's not a lot of times I need a heavier cleaner for interior purposes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. The reason I grab it a lot is because I don't have to have one for the heavy cleaning, one for the console, one for the painted pieces. It's one that does everything. It's quick, it's faster, and I know it's safe.
Yep. I before the show, I spilled a good amount of this on my passenger seat, and I'm going out there afterwards to clean it up. I know I filled it a lot. But I'm going over to Pilot to fill it. Like I could, immediately go, I need to bust out an APC or Polestar or Express or something that's going to do some heavy cleaning. But like Pilot is enough of a cleaner in its detail form to take care of that coffee spill. No problem.
Yeah, Sheepy's right.
Yeah, for some reason Pilot doesn't work. I mean, like a 10-to-1 APC will be stronger than Pilot. You just might have to, then come back. But again, you're not going to leave anything behind. You just might need to do a final touch up.
And then we've got X6M says, DJ Ryan and Doer, I already know JB's answer. What's your favorite scent for an interior dressing / conditioner I can use in my customers' vehicles at the end of a detail?
Ooh.
Durability does not matter.
Ooh.
And all of our customers' cars, obviously I'm biased, but I just put the ADS hangers.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna need to steal a few of those.
You can order them on the site. I just saw it.
Let's go.
Peach champagne is probably
Peach champagne right here.
There it is, baby. Send me a box.
And they're good. They keep
already overnight
for like 2 weeks.
They do. Ryan, do you?
Yeah, I answered in the chat, but my two, obviously Pilot's incredible, but I'm falling in love with PNS Swift. It's unbelievable. The smell. And then I got to shout out Jimbo's interior cleaner is money. It smells real nice.
That's the Swift on the bottle, the creamsicle, which is a real banger.
Oh, really?
What is that, JB? What is that?
This is.
I need that.
This is creamsicle Swift essence.
That's the
concentrate. Smells like Swift. It smells so
God.
good.
I didn't know that was a thing.
They released it at TRCMA.
Arts and crafts,
Dude, I was
baby. Arts and crafts.
I know you were busy.
Now, when you're recapping this weekend.
Oh my God, it's like it's all over my face.
I do. Yeah, you sprayed it up on the.
This guy have a microfiber on his desk. Well,
yeah,
bro. Surprising.
But honestly, and I'm gonna go a little off the cuff where like it doesn't last, but I love the smell of release.
Release is also really good. It's fresh.
It's fresh. It's clean. It's just there. I mean, like I love Koshemi Fresh Up. It's a conversation starter when friends come over. Like, what's the FU bottle? I'm like, I wait to smell it. So I actually like soak my hockey gear in Fresh Up because it's pretty banging.
You playing a little puck, eh?
My
favorite, top cheddar.
My favorite my favorite interior dressing condition. So like, he already knows my answer. I think what I've said in the past. So I like using either Top Star.
Yeah.
Or I'm not a bit. I like a natural look, right? So like if the interior is in good enough condition, I'm not going to dress it. But if I do need to dress it, I'm going to use Top Star, or I'm going to use Natural Finish from PNS. Top Star leaves a really good scent. Natural Finish leaves that like PNS like kind of leathery scent. It's really nice, but it darkens it and it doesn't leave it greasy. It's really nice.
Shout out to Top Star. I always forget about it. It's in my cabinet, and Leather Star. They're so good.
Top Star and Leather Star are great. But what I've noticed this week with release is once you spray it and you're like agitating the carpet to vacuum it, it's leaving that little bit of fresh scent behind, but it's also odor neutralizing. So by the time you finish with the detail, you've got a nice base to put one of the ADS hangers in or spray one of the PNS scents in, because you've now like cleaned and deodorized the interior all in one step while vacuuming.
And
so
the thing
it's
with
like that's a really nice tip with it.
The thing with the 1 liter of Top Star from TRCMA, it'll literally last you the rest of your freaking life.
Yeah, I've had it for a year and a half.
Yeah. My Leather Star is just starting to get low, but like their dressings do last you a while.
Top Star,
I can't imagine having 5 liters of it.
Lord, no way.
Wait,
not
Juice
happening.
Free says, does Pilot clean glass? It cleans glass. It cleans headlights.
Ask Gabe how much it cleans.
Oh my!
Gabe uses it to polish chrome.
Hey, shout out to Gabe. Gabe took on a lot of responsibilities for TRCMA, and
he sure did.
And Gabe, man, my guy was on his P's and Q's every day. My man crushed it. So thank you, Gabe, for all the stuff that you did for all of our businesses in the background that people don't notice.
So good.
I mean, dude, you nailed it, man.
He went full OG fanboy at the end there. I loved it.
He did. He
had the little jacket. He had the
when are the hero scented air fresheners coming? That's a good little hint, or a good little tip. Maybe you've are there any of the scents that kind of match it, or
I need amplified scent.
I wish if I could license the technology from Texas Roadhouse on that strawberry lemonade, I swear to God I would.
Would you guys ever consider doing something like this with the scent? Like
I didn't know there was a creamsicle. I'm obsessed with creamsicle.
I don't mean the creamsicle, but like, would you guys do like a hero fragrance or something where it's not a cleaner, it's just a fragrance or an amplified fragrance?
I'll never say never, because I said I would never make a rinseless, but here we are. But probably not.
Okay. I'm just
gonna spray amplify in my car. To everywhere.
I spray Pilot as like an air freshener sometimes.
You know what? Is what you have, is that a concentrate, or do you just spray that out?
This is the concentrate. So you can either put this in 1 to 2 gallons and dilute it and have like a batch made, or I just do. This is the right size bottle. I do 1 ounce to 3 ounces of water.
So that's just a 120 ml bottle. Okay.
The problem is that on the, and I don't know if they're going to change it, but on the bottle it said the 16 ounce per 2 gallons of water, and that goes a long way. I'd probably even a 16 ounce to like a 1 gallon of like distilled water, because it's a little bit more stable. Even that will last you forever. So I think the small bottle is the way to go.
Sydney also mentioned, if you are going to do a large batch, start at half a gallon, dilute it to half a gallon, and then add water.
Yeah,
exactly, and then add the water.
Because the thing is too is that, and I found with a lot of this, because I have like all the scents from their concentrate line, it doesn't have that kind of like oily attracting dust property that a lot of them do. Because some of them, like if you like, shout out to stripper scent.
How many times do you spray stripper scent in your wheel well, and then you go look at the carpet later, or in your foot well, and you look at the carpet later?
Hey, can we talk about stripper scent? Did anyone ever remember the tagline for stripper scent?
No.
What
it was stripper scent, the smell of success.
So DJ, if you're heading over to PNS, you can use code BuckyVW to save you 10%.
Yeah. Well, I've got a couple extra little vials. Maybe I'll send you a little sample of some scents, DJ.
Ooh.
Guys, I don't head over. I text my girl soon.
He's doing it right now.
Now that we're family.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
My lord.
I'll buy one.
Do we have any other questions, or JB's label sticking game? Oh, here we go. JB's label sticking game is on another level. I mean, I thought I did pretty good. I even did it when I got home. These are pretty straight. I don't know if I'd be hired for any of this.
I sucked a fat one when I was trying to apply that label. That was not good.
I mean, I definitely apply the labels better than I've seen Bob hand apply a label.
I will have to give a shout out to Juice Free. He appreciated my clipboard work. That clipboard did not leave my side.
The clipboard is what made us through the week. Let me just say that. If we didn't have that clipboard,
got the notes right here.
Like I felt like the part of a group project that didn't do anything, but that's just a testament to Doer's like level of like organization for the week.
Yeah, because like you never know, and like we try our best to catch. I mean, you guys know that from experiencing it's as much as you want to try and catch every little bit, it's really hard. You know, especially if we're doing coffee runs for Sydney, or if we're doing washes in the wash bay, or if we're doing just shooting the breeze to people, studio tours, or whatever.
For Lake Country.
Oh my God, let's talk about that for a second, should we?
We can talk about that. We didn't talk about that.
Just hammer down on a rotary, first time virgin.
Can we talk about that?
If
I'll talk about it. I was on the airplane.
It was live. Everyone saw the segment except me. I didn't know because I was Alex and I were technically we were done for the week.
Can I explain how this all happened?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I told Connor earlier in the week, I said, we're going to come over to MVP, shoot some photos, just kind of hang out, shoot the breeze. I wanted to meet Joey, have it a bit more intimate than just like the quick crossing pass
tour. Yeah.
So we go over there. We were done for the day. We thought we were done for the day.
Done for the week.
So we were heading over there, right? Walk over. And like, I look at the TV and I see the presenters kind of just hanging out. They're very relaxed. And I'm like, okay, there's not a lot. The viewership's kind of a little low because they had the view counter on. I'm like, it's a little rough. And not like 5 seconds later, Shane's in there. It's like, hey, we need both you guys real quick. Can you come with us? We need to throw you on the Lake Country segment just to kind of spice it up a little bit. No problem. So then we go inside, and Kira, bless her heart, shout out to Kira. Amazing.
Yes.
And she only had one mic and talk back left. That was really all that was there. Because again, we're at the end of the day. A lot of stuff's packed up. And
other segments are still waiting. So those people are mic'd up.
Yep. And so we're like,
one available.
Joey, you're going to go on. And then you're okay. And I think it really caught him by surprise. And then Joey, you take it from here.
It caught me by surprise because while I did see the segment on the TV at MVP, I didn't know what they were talking about. I didn't know what Lake Country was presenting. I didn't know if they were releasing anything new. I didn't know that Detail Kid was brought in. Shout out to him. Steven's a great guy.
Yeah, cool guy.
But yeah, they were like, here's your mic, here's your talkback. Go out there and lighten up the segment. And I thank God for Doer saying like he just had a trip to Canada, talk about his trip to Canada. But it was a very just out of place segment for me, and I was just trying to do my best to keep viewership up and keep everyone engaged and keep the presenters engaged and flowing. And I was 1,000,000% out of my element, but I tried to just make the best out of the segment. I got it as soon as I was off camera. I see a text from DJ that was like, "Was that you in the Lake Country segment? Like, what the heck? Like, did you do that?" So yeah, I mean, like enthusiasts, he said, much needed. I really do appreciate that. Like I didn't know how it went. I didn't know how it was going to go, but the consensus from everyone was kind of what's being said here. So I really, really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a very I just wasn't expecting it. Like what was funny was, Ryan, you looked at me after I was done for the day or for the week, and you said, "Do you want to go over to Enzo's? Adam's going to show us around his car wash." And I said, "I'd love to, but for some reason I keep getting roped into stuff. So I'm going to stay behind just in case." I'm thankful that I did stay behind just in case.
Because that was the same day, wasn't it?
It was the same day. He was like, "We're going to go over there for like an hour." I was like, "Man, I would love to. Something is telling me not to go." And I'm glad that I didn't, because no more than like 45 minutes later, here comes Shane roping me into it.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Did you guys go ahead? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. I would never interrupt.
I was just gonna say, like, we do, like, getting all these compliments from people for me and Doer, like, we do this, right? We hadn't met before.
Yeah.
We didn't know what our chemistry was going to be like on
Mhm.
camera, in person, live across the internet. And you know, from what I've been seeing is that people think that we got along. So
Yeah.
and we were able to execute.
It's for me, it's really hard to take all the compliments. You know, it's very humbling.
It's humbling and it's tough.
It is tough. And, you know, just again, it just kind of ties back to the whole family thing. Like, I don't think there was a single negative thing either in the comments or in person. Like, everything was just awesome.
You guys are now in my contract. You know, now that I went extremely viral for one day.
Yeah.
You know, I was like messing around with Jeff. I was like, hey, like, he asked me, like, you know, hey, did you have a good time out here? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, honestly, I think a lot of it, like, the comfort level was because, you know, like, you guys, obviously you two, having Ryan, like, obviously having Anthony, like, people that you're familiar with,
yeah,
showing you love and, like, supporting you and, like, being a part of, like, your segment. Like, at that point, you forget that the camera's on and you're just like, hey, I'm just hanging out with the boys.
Yeah. Exactly. There were so many times when we were washing that car during halftime that, like, you're in the back corner of it, I'm over here, and I just want to have that conversation, not realizing that, you know, I'm mic'd up, just being like, hey man, like, what are you doing back there? Like, or, you know, am I breathing too heavy into the mic? Like, everything goes away when you're just with the homies washing a car.
I think one of my favorite things Nick said too was that, you know, because some people aren't fully aware when they're on camera. Like, they may know a product really well, but aren't super comfortable. And I remember Nick said, and this will stick with me forever, he said, the car doesn't care what you have to say, the camera does. So turn around.
Yes. Yes.
So I thought that was amazing.
Blocking and facing the camera, like, it's a big deal, but TRC is very good at placing people with someone who may not be comfortable on camera. They'll place the right person in that segment to bring out the best in that person. They don't want to send you out there to make a fool out of yourself or to fail. Like, if they need Anthony to go out there and liven it up, or they need me to go out there and liven it up, like that, they're not going to let someone fail. They want to lift you up.
No, I was very excited when I literally took all my stuff off. And I forgot who it was. They're like, hey, you got to go back on for halftime. And I'm like, no, I just presented. And they're like, no, you're going back on for 90 more minutes. I was like, button me up. Let's roll.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Honestly, the going from a segment directly into halftime is draining. When we did our Grandambassador segment and we had an hour or whatever that was, and then we had like 10 minutes or whatever it was to set up to talk to Adam for 78 minutes and do a car with him. I was just like, I don't know. And it was the very last day. So I was like, I just have to push through. I don't have a voice anymore. You know, energy is purely caffeine. I didn't know how I was going to push through. Anthony is the best salesman.
Good shoes are important there.
Oh, I wore Converse one day and I didn't wear them the rest of the week because my feet were killing me after 8 hours on Swiss tracks with Converse.
You guys killed it, man. No BS. Like, we're to the point now, like, if one of us were to drop the ball, the group chat would be like, dude, you totally sucked. That was terrible. But no, seriously, man. Like, it made, like, I wasn't like overly nervous. It was just new. And, like, you know, like, I wasn't new to that aspect. But having you guys there to kind of lead the path and just kind of say, like, you know, this is what we're doing. And obviously knowing you have someone in your ear telling you that if you're being an idiot, you know, they'll tell you what to do.
Yes.
You know, so, and next thing I know, like, at one point we were still talking. This was funny. Me, Brad, and Anthony were still talking. And I hear, like, in my earpiece, we're like, we only got 20 minutes left. And we look back and we're like, holy shit, we haven't even watched the car.
Yeah.
I just watched that segment today and I thought that was funny. You're like, yeah, but then we still have Q&A, right? Like, but you guys, I didn't realize, like, as it was happening that you guys only had a short amount of time left, but you literally washed the car, decon the hood, coated the hood, and showed off all your new stuff within that, like, 15 minutes. It was wild.
And then we washed it 90 minutes later.
That was we were not. I was like, wait a minute, 40 minutes just went by with Anthony. I'm like, I felt like we just started.
You know? You literally just feel like you're having a conversation. And I think so. Like, I was absolutely nervous, like when we first went on the air, and it was evident on day one. But even my wife said that it was like a switch was flipped, and you could just tell that that comfort level, once that comfort level kicked in with your friends, and the people that you chat with all the time, like it just brings that level of just hominess to to this huge production that literally just gets everybody through it.
And I rewatched the first day, the first pre-show and the first day, and I think our nerves only really lasted maybe 60 seconds.
I won't watch it.
It was not long.
If I'm being honest, I won't watch it. I watched the couple of the halftimes, but I won't watch the first segment.
Yeah. Hey, JB, on the halftime, did when Dewar kept doing his segues, did the mic ever pick up when I was talking to you? Like, dude, that was badass.
I'm sure it did, because like I looked over and I was like, dude, I know. But that was one of those moments when I was like, yeah, dude, we're mic'd up, like, but we it's literally just like being with your friends in the driveway.
I was literally watching Dewar make these like seamless transitions, and I stopped and I was like, that's my guy. That's my guy.
He is impressive. And I think what happens is, like, once you realize that you're live and like there's nothing you can do about it, you just go. And these things pop into his brain, and it's there were so many times I looked at Adam a couple times and wanted to say, holy shit, did you hear that? Like, because Adam would look at me and be like, is he serious right now? Like, these segues, you killed it. You killed it.
Adam was pumped about, what was he using? Adapt?
Oh yeah, using that iPad with Adapt.
Fired up about
that greasy ass iPad of
appreciate
and we wanted that kind of reaction, not reaction from Adam, but we wanted that just like natural feel where he was going to pick up a product that he doesn't have money behind, he doesn't have his name on. We just wanted him to pick up some stuff and use it. So for him to pick up, the Flex Polisher and hold a bottle of Adapt and use it and talk about how nice the bottle looks and the whole the smell and everything. Like, that's what we wanted, and I was so glad that that's what we got out of it.
Yeah, because I didn't want to talk about Adams for 78 minutes, or whatever it was. It's
everyone always
enough.
I could have.
Enough. Yes, and I mean, you could have talked about home surface cleaner for an hour by itself.
I would have.
But and I think too is that I think Adam's been in enough public settings where the story's been told enough. And we just kind of wanted that to spin, you know. But like, because we were trying to get him to come wash, and like, there was one point where he walked away with the eFoam Pro, but we told Glenn, we're like, okay, we're gonna cue you to when we're gonna go over, and then they play like the little Nate segment in front of the studio so that we have time to walk over there.
Yeah, because you never want to walk off camera while it's on.
Yeah,
you want,
and then
you want
but
that
like
transition.
we could not get Adam to go to the car to wash it. Like, I think Joey and I had, even though we weren't talking to each other about it, we had a mutual understanding of how do we get him to go because he's not biting.
Well, and he's just his own dude, right? Like he was just doing his own thing, and
he's in his own world, but in a cool way. Yeah,
he's such a cool dude. Like, but what's cool is you think that like someone with the stature of Adam, right? Adam Patali is just, you're going to talk to him and you're not going to, it's going to go in one ear and out the other because you're irrelevant in his circle. That's not how he makes you feel at all.
Dude, he looks you in the eyes and is engaging.
He's
and
listening.
He cares. Yeah. He was like, we had great conversations that we toured, Matt and I toured his car wash or his detailed car wash. And like, he was just a wealth of knowledge. It was really cool.
At the last dinner, DJ, you weren't there. At the last dinner, we sent a plate of a side of asparagus down to Matt Mormon at dinner
because we ruined his first batch.
He was like, "What the fuck? This isn't for me." Blah 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 blah. And Adam immediately goes, "What the heck? You don't like asparagus? You're not going to eat this?" And Adam starts eating it. He's looking at me. I was like,
because Adam never saw the steak thing.
He never saw the steak segment, but like it was such a cool just like interaction between like these large personalities that are just like, ribbing each other, and it was like, I think that's my biggest takeaway from the whole week was That's what it was about. Was seeing people at the dinner table that you never thought you'd see at the dinner table together.
When Matt walked in the dinner on Tuesday after the steakhouse.
Yes.
Yeah, booed.
But Matt, I went to the bathroom. Everyone booed. I heard it.
OG drying egg.
But Matt also had a birthday dessert sent to him, and everybody sang happy birthday to
somebody
him.
said Matt, it's Matt's birthday, and they had that. I was in the bathroom when that happened, so that was a good sport.
And it was not Matt's birthday; it was like months ago.
No, no.
Did they have the whole people come out and sing? That's what they did.
Yeah, everybody was singing.
The whole all the TRC people, like everyone
not the staff. Like we just had.
They didn't have like the happy birthday.
No, they just had the one wait staff bring out the thing. But yeah, it was just our two tables were singing, not the staff.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I have a video. I'll send it to you guys.
Yo, this stream is still going. Salute. Yeah, I agree. This is definitely our longest stream.
Holy crap! 2 hours 20 minutes. Good lord.
Doer, we will get food shortly. Sheepstar says, "What brand would you like to see added to TRC that's not there yet?" That's a good question. That's a good question.
I think it's a slippery slope.
Yeah,
for sure. Because you don't want to add, 5 in a month or 5 and a quarter even. Or even 2 and a quarter.
You don't really want to add too many that just do the same thing. There has to be this like different, and I think that's what I admire the most is they don't just bring them on because it's a popular brand or it's the flavor of the week or it's the hype brand. Like it has to fit in somewhere, and I think that's what makes this question so hard.
Jeff explained it to us. He was like, "There's got to be a couple home runs in the line to support the line."
Yeah. Well, I think it's, kind of from my perspective is I don't think it's just to bring on more brands, but I'm really excited to see the growth of like the Ultra line to help all the brands that currently carry work better.
Yes.
I mean, like, new brands, but like we forget, like kind of one of the biggest drops is they're bringing in Bill Amber. Like, they're bringing in the full line.
Yeah.
I think Bill Amber would everything. I think Bill Amber would have been my answer had they not already talked about it. So I don't,
because I have to get all my.
Can't think of one.
Yeah, me either. Because I have to source the other stuff that OG doesn't sell because he sells 3 things. I buy all my Bill Amber from Carzilla because they have almost the full line, and so I got to try all the detail spray and like all the amazing stuff. I'm excited to try their waxes, and so I'm pretty pumped about Bill Amber.
Yeah.
How's it feel to have a wax that works pretty well? Pretty good.
Shout out to Waxes just coming out in 2025 and sucking. Like, I mean, I think. I think.
Joking.
Oh man, a brand I will be honest. I am pretty stoked to see Ego stuff on the TRC website.
Right,
like that's pretty cool.
I need that 880 blower. That thing is a shotgun. You go
freaking rips.
It threw Bradley back on freaking West State Street. I mean,
well, yeah, he weighs 80. He weighs 86 pounds. Of course, it will.
Now, since we do have a platform where I can give my opinion about things, the Flex polishers, they're great. I think they do a good job. I use them at Sydney's. If you have large hands, if that is important, if the comfort of something is important to you, then I think it should be in a polisher. Maybe use the Flex first because what do you call it? The handle, the neck, the fucking knob at the front, whatever it's called. It's a little too skinny for me, and it hits my fingers.
If you're used to the Rupes, because like when I grow up, because I have the Mark III Rupes, which is, and I still love it. It's still in great condition. It's basically new. But when I grab it, just for like a frame of reference here, I grab it, my immediate 2 fingers in that little groove, and then like my thumb on top, and that's just my natural hold. Where you can't do the natural hold on the Flex.
The Flex,
Joey, you kind of convinced me.
2 on the bottom, and then everything else up top because these.
But then I think you have to hold the battery because, like Ryan, you just did the video with DJ using the polisher where you have to balance the battery, but you kind of have to do like trigger on and then move your hand back, and kind of like support the front.
It's just a change. It goes back to something I talked about. I don't remember where I talked about, but like accessibility of products, right? Like if I'm a bigger dude, right? Like I can't just go buy jeans at the store. So same thing with like
they might rip.
Tool. Yeah, exactly. With tools, I need to feel them. I need to use them. I can't just take someone's word for it. I need to use it.
I did just order because JB, you were like kind of like when you were saying that, and then I like used it on a car recently, and then I was getting vibration. I may or may not have just ordered the Mark V Rupes.
Really?
Going back to
court. I think
this
if
is
there's
how
something
DJ
that
holds his. I'm gonna play that clip.
Yeah, and you can see it's a little bit thinner, right? So like you kind of have to adjust the way that you hold it. So that's probably my biggest critique of those polishers. But I think
shout out to Gainesville basketball Hawks.
Yeah, regional champs, 8 out of 10 years. How you doing?
But yeah, I think that's my only complaint. But one of my biggest I think FOMOs of the week, or just like what I'm on now, is like I think I really want I want a new polisher. I don't know what I want. I don't know what brand I want.
I know what you want.
Well, I can tell you it doesn't have a battery on top in a stupid position.
No,
I don't want that.
I wanted the jack that RBL. I'll tell you that much.
The RBL is nice. But I
What's that? The Shmirka? The fake Mirka?
The blue one that Sydney is using.
Oh, the
fake
RBL
Mirka.
or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I don't know. I think I want a new 15 or 21 millimeter polisher, but I don't know what yet.
I did know how the Mark V is.
I did offer my services up to Matt Mormon. I was like, hey, if you're working with LE on some kind of cordless something down the road, or Mirka, whoever, I'm like, let me be involved. Like,
yeah,
not even trying to
try an LE. I think
I told him, I'm like, dude, not even trying to flex on people, but I'm like, I have a lot of time involved with machines. Like I just want to be a part of it, like.
Yes.
I'm tired of these people like Rupes. I've been a diehard Rupes obviously for a long time, but they completely dropped the ball with their cordless polisher. Completely dropped it.
I haven't used any liquid element ones, and people seem to really like the battery powered. I'd love to try one. So maybe that makes it into the running, but. I don't need a new polisher. I just want one. Like after touching all the new stuff last week, I just want one.
Have you tried a ShineMate?
I have two.
Do you have a ShineMate cordless doer?
I have the EB210, which is the little 3-inch. Ryan froze. Looks like he fell asleep. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
We
take him out temporarily.
I had the EB210. I really like. It has two. Like I have the kit, and the 2 batteries is nice. It works pretty well, and I've never really had an issue where, because I feel like I've used the Nano from friends, and I find the Nano just is missing a bit of jam, whereas the EB210
Nano,
it has, and the EB210 it has the ability to put a 1-inch on it. I mean, it's obviously a little bit of work. Like it doesn't change out in 2 seconds. Like you gotta get the little wrench out and adjust the thingy, and then put the thing on. It works pretty well, but there's a lot of times where I'm just like, I'm going to put this Mark III into places that has no business doing. And it's going to be good enough for what I'm charging for.
Yeah.
Because I'm never going insane enough. Like the 3-inch, that EB210 headlights, 1000%. You could pay for it in a few jobs. But I do have the 15 mil, the ShineMate. The 5-inch. But because that was what I bought before the Rupes, after I realized that the Torque 10FX is not good.
Yeah.
So I bought that through Carzilla. It was a couple $100, but taking the jump to it was pretty smooth, and then jump into the Mark III. I did get it as a birthday gift, but even still, if you're not a Rupes fan, but if you're trying to justify, let's call it a $500 polisher just for easy math, you could do a job or two and pay that off.
Yeah.
And in that, if you're ever questioning, even if you just knock out an enhancement for $150, you do 3 of those and it's done.
Totally. I'm excited for that.
I'll never go back to cord it if I can. I literally bought the ShineMate.
Yeah.
In the summer of 2021 on a whim.
Yep.
Loved it. And then I've just been slowly adding to my collection. And then my other machines, I've either given to local detailers or just gotten rid of them.
Yeah, the cables are a little annoying, and cordless
I've only tried the ShineMates at SEMA when I met Ryan when we were looking at the.
They just need better batteries and chargers. Like the
I have such a mishmash of batteries now that like I'm too far with just household power tools, my snowblower, leaf blower, drills.
Well, I've got Ryobi batteries, but I don't want a Ryobi polisher. So I have Rupes batteries for my Rupes, and then I have Milwaukee for my Milwaukee, and I have Ego for my Ego blower. So
it's like I can't start
at
over
this point,
and be happy.
I'm eager to see that. Supposedly they're working on a 5-inch Mirka battery. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yep,
it's probably gonna be $2,000
for real. But yeah, I think I don't know, just a new polisher. I think is something that
this little guy is awesome. But there's things that it's still missing,
like the trigger lock.
But it's a good polisher nonetheless.
And like the Shine one, if I remember correctly, you double tap it and it locks, right? I think that's
just software.
That's the
only thing.
That's one less thing to break.
The only thing this Mirka is missing is obviously the auto lock and the backing plates suck.
Cool, send it to me.
I'll trade you straight up for your creamsicle.
I'll send you the creamsicle right now.
Dude, my guy was like, he wanted my shoes, dude. Those the 270s I had. He's like, we'll give you 10 coatings for your shoes right now.
Who said that?
DJ,
you trying to buy his shoes off his feet?
He had some silly kicks on. I go, Ryan, what size shoe you wear?
They were nice.
He goes 12. I go, me too. I go, let me get them. He goes, dude, no. And I go, how many coatings do you want for them?
I don't know if I don't know if I looked at Ryan's shoes the whole time. I made
had
eye
these
contact.
teal and pink joints on, man. They were beautiful.
Oh, that's
first thing I noticed. I thought I brought nice shoes to the game, but
so what are they like? What's the name of them so I can bring them up for the people?
They're the Nike 270. The 270s have a day.
You about to see the price he paid for them too.
I bought them on StockX, bro. Actually, no, eBay, because eBay does the verification service too.
Yeah.
But I wear my shoes. I'm not like a shoe. I'm a shoehead or whatever.
I brought a pair.
X? Is that what you bought?
I brought a pair of Jordans. I brought a pair of Jordans I was going to wear in the wash bay just to piss people off. Just like
that's them.
Yeah, bro.
Those are nice.
Very cool.
Look at
how much is 461.
Ignore that. You can buy a Mark III in Canadian dollars or some shoes.
I used to work with a guy that had the air bubble in his shoes and it popped and it would squeak and he refused to get a new pair of shoes. And everywhere he'd walk you'd hear that fucking squeak from his little air pocket.
Oh man,
I had
to come correct with the shoes.
Not out yet.
The
shoe game, man.
I like Nick's or not Nick, Rick's past with Oakley and sunglasses. Rick was the huge sunglass.
Some cool.
Hey, you finally have a pair of glasses that aren't broken.
We got some TRCMA sunglasses.
Dude, you guys got great swag.
We got some great swag.
Did you not get a gift bag from the? Oh yeah, you didn't stay at. You didn't. Oh yeah, let's talk about this for a second, Ryan. So we've been talking about the wonderful Home to Suites for years. Even Matt Mormon himself, Mr. Ritz Carlton himself.
We shoved that man in the back of a Mini Cooper, drove him 25 minutes to the Home to Suites, and it was good enough for him.
And where's Ryan?
Listen, someone showed me the video of like Anthony and Levi made that video about the Home to Suites, remember? Or Joey, you showed it to me, and it was like
it's why, bro, we walked in and I was like, Dewar was like, look, here's the market. And I was like, Levi stole from there. And there's the pool. And there's where Jane had breakfast. What? I was like, where's my bathroom attendant? Seabass isn't here.
Listen, I had some points. So I used some points. I stayed at those beautiful, it's called the Hotel Renegade in downtown Boise. Highly recommend.
Wouldn't know that. Wouldn't know Ruth Chris. Wouldn't know nothing.
Sorry. It's, maybe next year we'll be on your level. But,
Because I think we were just like, we were going back to the hotel and we're just like, why doesn't Ryan just follow us? Like, why isn't he like?
Why is he offering to drop me off? I don't get
it. I'm more upset that two of the hosts of TRCMA didn't get invited to a free steak dinner.
You just had to raise your hand. It was kind of low key.
I couldn't ditch my people like that.
No,
Grand Ambassador of the Year 2024.
I had to
2021 winner would
Heart of the Rag Company. I'm not Heart of Ruth's Chris. I have to stay there.
Oh, he left. There we go.
Yeah, that Tuesday night Ruth Chris dinner is definitely going against him for Grammy of the Year. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
You know what? You got to do what you got to do.
There's few things that will get you banned from the competition. That's probably top 5.
Tier 2 Grandambassadors are going to have a hell of a competition.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I can't believe we've gone 2.5 hours. Kind of.
I am getting pretty hungry.
Yeah.
Hey, before I leave, I think we should drop them the news. What's ADS and DGP doing here in about 2 months?
We're gonna do a little product drop. If you guys are interested, and we used to do this back in the day on our old podcasts, and I don't think we've had a product launch episode yet, if I'm not mistaken. So,
I'm gonna tune in just for the giveaway.
In a little bit, we are gonna have Brad and DJ, Armor Detail Supply. We're going to do a launch episode for, what are we doing? The Trim Plus, and
we got a whole lot of stuff coming out.
Oh, we're going to have more than just those two. Oh, news to me. Everyone stay tuned to socials because we're going to book this episode as soon as we have all.
There's just a lot of legit, because we got to, I know either me or Bradley or both, I don't know, but we got to go out to, Boise. We got to film some content. Bradley's got to come here to get some content.
Boise.
I mean, we got to get all the labels and stuff done, the bottling, the packaging. So
yeah.
Well, and getting packaging from overseas takes forever.
I got to film some content. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's fine.
I just love being there, so maybe we'll be there. Like, who knows? You know, we did get that open invitation.
Speaking of content, Mike G asked earlier, we're getting a video experience. So I do have a little bit. I did some stuff in Sydney shop while we're getting stout certified.
You did. I forgot all about that.
And then we did the tour of the compound.
I forgot you had some footage. It was I brought my gimbal and my chest mount with like every intention of making it, but like
you were too busy.
We were just too
there and busy.
It was hard when we're too involved. So I'm glad we at least got that, because I'm like, crap, I didn't get in. But I'm so happy with all the behind the scenes that not just Matt got, but Ryan got and Eric got. I think Brandon got a whole schwack as well. So
there's plenty of footage across all of these channels coming out that will give you the full TRCMA experience. I think if you piece it all together, you'll get the full experience behind the scenes, and then you can watch the TRC stream to see what was on camera, and you'll literally get the entire vibe of the. You may not get like the after hours stuff and DJ just buying us shots after shots after shots.
Oh
but
my God, I can't eat Fruit Loops ever again.
But everyone I think just got a lot of amazing footage and be able to just relive that week for a long time.
I'm sprinkling mine out.
That hotel lobby lady had to think we were on something.
I was down in that hotel.
I mean, we were on Fruit Loops.
Yeah,
Toucan Sam over here.
That hotel, those poor hotel employees having to put up with us till 1-2 in the morning in the lobby.
Mm-hmm.
You
don't get that at the Renaissance. Tell you that much.
You don't. You
Renegade.
A lot.
Oh, whatever.
I mean,
like it matters.
It didn't occur to me till I was like going to bed that night that I was like, I was just in the lobby with the CEO of Koch Chemi USA till 2 in the morning, and who's just shooting the shit.
Yeah.
It
was great.
Andrew's pretty cool. That was cool. Yeah, just getting to talk to all these people. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, just picking their brain.
And shout out to my boy Hunter. It was good to see him again.
Yeah,
we only crossed paths very quickly at SEMA, but actually getting to spend a couple of days with him was awesome.
Yeah, Hunter's a great guy.
Yeah, really good dude.
Everyone is great. I brought all these props to like talk about things that were released at TRCMA, but this episode has just been so awesome of just like chatting. I think we might need to like just talk about some stuff. Yeah, we'll have to do stuff in a.
Yeah, I want to do a phobic business podcast one day, like how to make money because there's a really weird conception of. I see people. I don't comment a lot on some of these like other public forums, but
yeah,
I'll see people like,
sometimes you do though.
Sometimes, but I see they're like, why would I buy phobic at this price instead of this? I'm like, well, if you like, let me tell you why you should.
Yes.
Have you watched Doer's
video?
Could
do that. We could have a business chat episode.
Yeah.
You good?
I'm game for that.
Hell yeah.
We'll have to bring Steve on. I know he's the reason I always throw out that dollar amount. Him and I always joke because like I met Steve last year at Clean Garage open house, like right before Phobic was coming out.
Yeah,
and we were talking about you buy a product, but the value of what the product does for you.
Yeah.
And so Steve would text me. He'd be like, dude, he's like, I just finished my first bottle and, I make $2,500 off my $80 investment. I'm like,
yeah.
Now I wish other people would see that. They just see $80 for a spray coating. But I'm like, in all intended purposes, spray just means an application method. It doesn't mean it's lesser of a coating. It just means the solvents can be atomized and you can spray it via applicator or towel. That's all it means. Yeah, save 3,000 out of a bottle.
Yeah, it's what, but then you get like my friends who find out that like this bottle costs $89 or whatever or $80, and then they go, well, why are you charging me so much? Well, fuck, like the friends are sometimes the worst
because it's also all the prep work. It's
it's
the same thing. It's like why would I buy?
They're like chicken wings and beer. Does that sound good? And I'm like, fine. I'm a cheap date.
Yeah, I'd love to do a show with Steve and talking about like small business stuff and how where it's beneficial to the person who may only have a couple cars or the person who has a full-on detail shop, because there's value anywhere as long as you understand like the perception of where the value is coming from.
You just have to look at it from a different perspective. You like and once you do, like that can unlock an entirely different or entirely new stream of revenue for you. If you just if you frame the way you're looking at that product in a different way, you need to get new friends, JP.
And if you guys see Dimitri's channel, I mean, Phobic for a spray coating that was half the price of nearly everything on there.
Yep.
I mean, performed crazy high.
Yep.
And that test, which is, for all intended purposes, a pretty broken down, scientific test. I mean, it did very well.
Steve says he's game, and like I if Alex is okay with this, I will like if you don't want to do your own thing and set up like if you want to use this platform for that conversation, we can definitely facilitate that.
If I'm ever doing a podcast, I mean it's you guys are my first call.
Hell yeah.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that. And if whatever we can do to help and help facilitate that, because these are conversations that I think
and our
worth
320 genuine subscribers also appreciate it. I will have to say, I know a lot of people don't talk analytics when it comes to videos a lot because it can be touchy. But I mean, our views are pretty darn close to our subscribers, which is pretty cool.
Yep. Now, if we get Matt on the show, I don't know if that will still be the same, but we'll see. We'll go from there.
I'm curious. I have my wash and talk with him, and I edited down to 52 minutes.
Wow.
So we'll see how that affects my my viewership. Hopefully,
I just think it's funny that they're pretty self-aware, and I think what they were saying all week was there's the people who love the videos with Matt but hate Anthony being in it, or the opposite, like me. The only videos of Matt that I watch are the ones with Anthony in it, right? Like so there's that polarizing audience, and I think that's very fascinating. Just to see both sides of the aisle of
that's a hell of a duo there too. I mean, those guys. I mean,
they really are made for each other. Like they're the odd couple.
I would watch that show or whatever you would put them on because they just razz each other constantly, and they do it off camera too. It's not just for the camera.
No, totally. Like when Matt did his little segment in Anthony's garage and showed that, but like even once the camera went off, like there's a lot of shit talking going back and forth between the two of them, and it's just and there's nothing there's no malice behind it. It's just buddies ribbing each other.
Yeah.
If you don't rip on somebody, you're not even friends.
You don't like it.
Yeah.
Like if you met someone, you're like, oh my God, that's the nicest person. They've never insulted me. It's like, you're not friends. In some manner, you are not friends.
It's something about it's just boys being boys. Like we have to talk a little bit of shit.
I do love the influx of my internet friends versus in-person friends, and when you get to meet all your internet homies in person, it's hard to kind of explain to people around you like locally It's like, I'm gonna go hang out with a bunch of strangers for a week, and share a room with someone I've never met in my life.
I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast, but I made a post on my personal Facebook saying what I was going to do for the week, because I don't really share like outside of the detailing groups and stuff. I don't really share that kind of stuff. So I was just like, let me put it out there, since I'm already going to be in an uncomfortable position of being live on camera. Like, I might as well just go all out and get out of my comfort zone. And I put that post up, with the expectation of like the friends and the family and whatever. The only people that would interact with it, or that did interact with it, are the detailers who I talk to all the time. So it didn't even have the effect that I intended.
But hey, that's okay.
That is
I think that's a good spot to probably knock this one out. We're gonna pass out from lack of food.
I think so. I think I'm out of coffee. I'm out of water. I'm out of food. So I do need that. But dude, thank you guys for coming on, and we just wanted to have like a revolving door this episode to share our experience, because like it wasn't just us. Like every one of you guys were a pivotal role in making that week what it was for us. And I just wanted to have everybody on to chat with them and just get their experiences too, because I mean, it's a week I'm never going to forget. Like what a blast.
I hope we can run it back again next year.
Me too.
Yeah, that would be a blast. And I'm not pandering because I'm on your podcast, but JB and Dewar, you guys killed it, man. And like, so you guys know, like, I know you saw them on camera a lot, but like these guys were working. Like they were working. It was good stuff.
I'd never changed my wardrobe so many times in
God,
one day, from taking this shirt off, putting this jacket on, putting this on. Like it was it was a lot. But I appreciate that, Ryan. I really.
But those blue polos that they gave us, those things were the easiest wrinkleable, if that's even a word, shirt ever. And like because they told us, like, when they're like, hey, what shirt size are you? But like, by the way, these fit like stupid small. So like maybe go up a size or two. And we did, and I'm glad we did.
I thought I was going to have to get a girdle. I was like, if this shirt doesn't fit me, I'm going to have to get a girdle to wear this on air. And luckily it fit. So again, DJ, Ryan, thank you again for not only being on today, just being awesome people last week, and
great people,
just always being yourselves. So thank you. And Dewar, such a pleasure to finally meet you in person.
Yeah.
It was honestly a little heartbreaking, because when we had to like go to our gates, I was like, is this goodbye? Like I had to give him a hug. I was like, is this? And
it's funny because like my flight got delayed like another like 30 minutes. And then we both ended up in Seattle at the same time.
Yeah.
And our
he was
gates
just
were
out of
actually
reach.
Yeah, it was like they're pretty close. And when I was leaving, I actually snapped a photo of his plane. I'm like, see ya.
Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, I had a blast meeting you. You were a great roommate for a week, and I hope
he didn't give you COVID like Bradley did, so that's good.
No, I'm perfectly healthy.
Love it.
But yeah, thank you guys again for let's do it again next year. Let's do it before next year, whatever. Like you guys are like lifelong friends at this point.
Heck yeah, hopefully SEMA. Yep.
Yeah, maybe Bradley will get, or no, like DJ, you're supposed to get that penthouse, right? And we can all stay there.
Yeah, I'm looking at some VRBO housing options. Trying to get like a 8-bedroom place.
And I don't.
If you want to come to the after party of SEMA, come to the ADS house. We're going to be. We'll be grilling Wagyu steaks.
We can do a podcast poolside.
Ooh.
I'll be too drunk.
Hey, no. We're still not going to be monetized, so I can be topless. This is going to be great.
Perfect.
Dewar said, "Ooh,"
but yeah, I mean, not to spill the beans, but I'm hoping that JB and I can get together before any of that too. So
yeah,
that's all we're going to say.
We're working on
Hopefully.
stuff.
We'll see.
Well, you two are in my contract for TRC. I've already told Jeff. I said
I haven't signed anything.
You're in my contract to come back.
Okay.
He's got green M&Ms only, and then JB and Dewar. Like those are his requirements.
Right. There we go. Perfect. Sorry. All right, fellas.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to everyone for sticking around.
You guys are great. Much appreciated.
Thanks, guys. See y'all.